Quite an extravagant area, quite a lot of different lights. Cecil, it's really something to behold.
For sure, it is something to behold. I was there the very first night at the actual opening. The ambassador of China, who has been a sponsor of the program, was there. He gave a presentation. He spoke. The parliamentary representative for the Roseau, South area was also present at the Shakira Hippolyte, and also the Honorable Prime Minister spoke and gave his blessings to the actual village, Christmas village, and the parliamentary representative of Roseau Central was there, and it's really called the Christmas village, and I can tell you it's really a sight to behold. It's a place where children would like to be, and I was making the comparison of I as a boy growing up, and I said that we only had one Christmas day, and that was the 24th, where everybody would find themselves going and buy the toys and the starlights and the bandits or the firecracker, if you want to say it like that way, or all the things that would make children happy on Christmas Day, the 25th, but our real Christmas on the 24th. Now we are seeing children having tree lighting, they're having weeks and weeks of shopping for Christmas, as the Botanical Gardens has graced itself a wonderful place for children to actually.
Well, actually,
socialize.
I mean, it's not the first time. I mean, I remember seeing the Christmas village down on the boulevard, Roseau Boulevard. I remember seeing it by the bayfront.
Yes.
It has made rounds,
Actually, it was on the boulevard the very first day in
Yeah,
2019.
2019, yes.
And in 2020, it was at the Bayfront.
Bayfront, that's correct.
Last year, it was at the Botanic Gardens.
Right, that's by the convent.
More to the convent, more to the western side. And this time to the...
It's on the playing field.
The cricket playing field, more
That's
to the
right.
eastern side this year around. And it's a bigger sport. I saw quite a lot of people there on Friday. It was really an amazing sight, all of these lights and these toys, these vendors there giving things that they have that they can sell. You have ice cream, you have popcorn, you have hot dogs. I mean, children have everything that they can have, that they can want. As we got on the 24th, all during that period before the 24th of December.
Right, and it's very, very, very interesting to notice that, it puts you in the Christmas spirit. It reminds you of that Christmas is coming. And so as a young boy growing up in the Lakou, we never had this situation where we'd be enjoying Christmas, before it actually occurred. Because today is only the 15th. And as you said, it opened on the 13th. So, it's a prelude to the Christmas celebration itself. So children can go there and enjoy themselves.
So soon you won't even be hearing the 24th.
No.
Soon people will not be waiting for the 24th.
No.
Now, it's now on the calendar of event for Christmas.
That's right.
And people are making their way. I think I'm hoping that it has found its home at the Botanic Gardens. So people are now making their way to the Botanic Gardens. It opens every 7 o'clock. So that people can go there and with their children, loved ones, lovers. You have the lovers lane in that thing. You have the place for Santa to greet you and to give you your toys, and you have other vendors with various types of commodities and products that they can really sell to you, and you can really, as a family, as a mother, as a father, as a big brother, big sister, can purchase for your little ones.
Right. I see it as a family, an area for the family to go in the evening time, because people complain that they don't have nowhere to go during the evening. So that's a good time to go there and, free up, bring your kids and, have fun in the village. So it's something unique in terms of, children.
And every night there will be something different.
Different, yes.
Theme. Actually, the overall theme is peace, but there will be, quite a lot of activities. So each night you'll have a theme to celebrate the activity. And I think last night they had Rough and Ready. And so every night there will be a night for children, for adults. I think I was told that soon there's going to be a night for children where they come to express themselves, sing, dance, whatever they wish
Whatever
to do.
yeah.
So it's going to be a real fun period for the children.
It's unique. It's something that needs to be, upheld, or every year have it, and it will get bigger and better every year. So you evaluate what was lacking last year, and you improve. So every year, there should be an improvement in it.
Tomorrow is going to be another grand event for the Parliament. Tomorrow you have the sitting of the Parliament, where the government will be bringing 3 bills before the House for the first reading. And I know, as I had an interview with the Attorney General, who said that he would like to shut up the opposition for the criticism of the government in reference to the lack of interest of the electoral reform. But we'll all remember, and we're talking about historical, that's what the ad is about, historical, that in 2017, that the government brought the electoral reform bill before the House to have the first reading. So what transpired, what happened on that said day. And it never went until tomorrow, where again the government will be tabling the first reading of the bill. There will be 3 bills that will be discussed.
Yeah, well, Cecil, I know that it creates a level of controversy, because not everybody is in agreement with what is transpiring in terms of what for me is electoral modernization. And there's some Dominicans who want it, there's some who don't want it, in terms of what they really want. So one asks the question, what do we really want? Do we really want electoral modernization, or is just a buzzword? Do we really want it? As you indicated, it's not the first time. 2017 to now is 7 years ago.
Yes.
So that's taken quite a while. And so it's very interesting because there's controversy in what some people want. But as I always say, you cannot have everything you want in life.
Yes.
You have to live with it. And so one hopes that tomorrow, when the bill at least is taken to the House for the first reading, time is still given before the second and third reading for persons to make suggestions.
And what is good about the fact of bringing the bill for the first reading, it gives the public an opportunity to understand what the bill has in it, and to have discussion. That thing about people trying to, as they say, trying to see how they can raise an answerness. It's no use really, because it's just the first reading of the bill.
Yeah, it's transparency,
and it gives the country that opportunity to
look at it,
to have discussion from the first reading, and the second and third reading. Then you have the debate.
Right.
And with the debate, you're going to have, if there's going to be inclusion or amendments from the current bill. Remember, it's not an act yet. It will then become an act when it is passed in Parliament, and Hansard would be. It will then go to the president, then go into the Hansard, and then you have it as law.
Right. So it's going to be very interesting. Tomorrow will be very interesting because only the first reading of the bill, and gives time for more discussions, and then we'll see what happens from there. So it's going to be very interesting to see what transpires.
It's not the first time that we are seeing from several governments, not just this government, where bills came to the Parliament, where it was read the first time, and people had the opportunity to discuss.
Right.
And so it's not a situation where people should get up in arms. And if you get up in arms, it's because you are shifting the goalposts,
right,
because you are flip-flopping.
Right.
You cannot say to the government that we need electoral reform. Then the government says to you, okay, I'm taking 90% of what you have said.
Right.
Because I have taken some time off and read quite a lot in the bills,
right,
the various bills that is going to be presented to the Parliament.
Right. But one must remember there were two main issues in terms of people wanted the St. Kitts model, where you go to the different countries around the world.
They want all of the St. Kitts model? I hope.
So
No,
the St. Kitts...
They want a portion of the St. Kitts model?
Well, I don't
all
know.
of it?
Because the St. Kitts model was that St. Kitts government went to Europe, America,
Right.
all over the world
Right.
to meet with their citizens.
To get them to be registered.
To register.
Right.
And the other model here is that the Dominicans will come home to reconfirm
Right.
that Cecil, I am Cecil.
Yes.
So that the Dominicans who are living overseas will have to come and reconfirm themselves. So it's going to be very interesting. What is the model we want? Which one of them we want?
And what is good is that at one time we heard the government said that they would like to have they would have liked to have a national ID. I read in the bill, Section 11, Part 1, Section 11, that reads that they are now, the bill is now saying that they're going to have a voter's ID card, and which will be up for what do you call it? It will be expired after 10 years.
Right, but you remember that big controversy. You went to Antigua as well,
Right.
Where when we had our discussion,
Right.
We spoke about the fact that what happens to you.
I give the pros and the cons.
What happens to you if you lose your card?
Right.
So that's a very important thing, because you lose the card, because people tend to lose. I have lost my social security card on a number of occasions.
We have to purchase it the second time.
So I had to go back
like
and get another one.
Like in Antigua, if it gets lost, you have to purchase.
Right. So if I lose it, will I have a chance to still vote? Go and get a card.
Yes.
Because the important thing, you don't want to differentiate. You don't want to prevent me from voting.
No, that's
I'm on the list. I lost my card.
The intention is not to let you.
So the intention is not to. But if I or somebody buy my card, if somebody purchase my card, will I still be able to vote? Because you have to look at the pros and cons. Because you see, you were in Antigua and you understood what transpired.
Yes.
So the voter's ID card must not prevent me from voting, even if I don't have it.
Yes.
I'm on the list.
Right.
So if where's your card? What's your name? I'm Hartley Adams. But where's your card? I don't have my card. So you're going to prevent me from voting? I'm going to take you to court.
Right.
You can't prevent me from voting.
But I think there'll be time for us to have that kind of discussion.
Well, so.
Yeah, so it's we normally take 15 minutes.
So
to
15 minutes for the program.
Some internal discussion.
But before we go, Cecil, I would just like to make a point. Budgeting for Christmas is very important.
Yes.
We get our salaries very early. Hopefully, we may get our salary on Friday or maybe on Monday. And then you have the long January month.
6 weeks.
So budgeting for Christmas is very important, because during the time when Christmas is coming, everybody wants to buy things.
Yes.
New gifts, new curtain, new carpet, new television. These things cost. So, we have to take a critical look at how we spend our money for Christmas. Otherwise, when we are faced with the long January months, which you say 6 weeks before you see another salary, not only that, something good is coming up. The stevedores, the men on the port, are going to be getting some goodies. $4 million.
Yes.
Which has been at the bank for a while, but the funds were not released. But I heard that the funds are going to be released on Wednesday this week, so that the men who have been waiting for a very long time to get some relief, they have been waiting for a very long time. The time has come now. I hear by Wednesday, they will be able to go to the banks and get the money. $4 million. Did you hear that?
I know of that.
All right. So you're not one of the port. No, you were one time one of the fellas on the port. Cecil.
No, I used to be a director on the port.
Yeah.
I also used to be a WOW executive member. So I know the issue on both sides. Thank God I've been able to have enough information
Right.
on both sides.
And your father,
And
the man who raised you was a
my
portman.
father and my brothers, actually worked on the port.
So I know you're very
So
empathetic to that.
I've always
So
been.
money is coming on Wednesday.
Right.
4 million.
And I just want to say that 4 million, I would like to say that should be shared the way it's supposed to be shared.
Well, I think they would.
And that we don't get excited about it.
So for the Christmas already, there'll be money coming in on Wednesday, and the men on the port, a lot of them will be smiling to receive their early Christmas gift.
Yes, and they will,
Right.
Yeah. So yes, so we have with us in the studio of Felix Henderson, Julian Josephs. Good evening to you, Julian. Good evening to you, Julian. Julian's not hearing us. Good evening to you, Julian.
Yeah,
You're lost if I say.
You know,
not really. I was listening to y'all guys for a little while, all about the Lakou and the setup, and
I'm happy that you
I'm here now.
yes, I'm happy that you're here with us.
Yeah,
And we are going to speak quite a lot about your upbringing, the Lakou that you lived in, which is Pottersville.
Pottersville,
Right.
yeah.
You
Johnston Avenue, Pottersville, Lodbo.
Right.
Original name Lodbo Balahutong.
Wow. I like what you just said. Original
Yeah.
Lord Bo Balautong.
Yeah, Balahutong, Pottersville.
Balautong is
Balautong.
Is people tell you there's a patois.
Because of the fish, they used to get a lot of fish. Go Kuliu, Balau,
Yes,
yeah.
Makio,
Makiobli,
Bot,
but Titiwi,
TTV, yeah.
Makio Blé.
everything.
Long ago you hear that, Makio Blé.
That's a Lakou word.
Yeah, that's a Lakou word. Makio Blé.
Makio Blé.
Le Makiobli, yeah.
Makio Blé. And I've not heard that for a good while. So yes, Julian,
Yes, sir.
you are here with us this evening, and I'm happy that you are here. First of all, tell us who you are. I want to know who's your father, your mom, where you came from.
Yeah, my father was Mr. Clement Josephs, ex-postmaster in Roseau ex-postmaster. He was the postmaster in Roseau. That's what I knew him as a little boy growing up. And my mom was Clara Severin. The Severin family, She had other sisters like Clara Severin, Lucy Severin, and brothers, Francis Severin, Valentine Severin, John Severin. And originally, my grandmother was a Bellot. My grandmother was from Tong, actually, Bellot's from Tong. But she married Mr. Severin. He was from Botica. My grandfather was Mr. Severin from Botica, but his mom was a Carbon, the Carbons and the Pascals they are all related to me by my grandfather, right? So they were living in Laplin. I know them living in Laplin, and I used to go and spend holidays in Laplin with my mom and Lucy Banis, which was previously Severin, but she married Banis. Up Goodwill, was my aunt, and then I used to go and spend holidays with my mom in the country, Laplin, and then, but originally back to Pottersville, sometimes in Laplin, and most times in Pottersville where I grew up, and we used to have a lot of kites. At the Easter time, it was kite time.
Before we go to the kite, we'll come to that. We're not rushing. So these are your mother, your grandmother, and you are saying that they came from the east of Dominica. We heard the Bellots are actually from more or less the southwest, Soufriere.
More or less from Soufriere.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are in this survey from Boudica and the La Plaine. That's amazing to find out. Thanks for that information.
My grandfather was from the east,
No, Julian, brothers and sisters.
Well, I have one brother, my mother, one brother, same mother with me, Jepson Josephs, my younger brother. And all the rest is same father. I have a lot of brothers and sisters by my father. The oldest is Janet Roll, previously Janet Josephs, but she married Roll, and then I have Josephine Josephs. I talking about my sisters, I call it my sisters first, right? You have Janet Josephs, was previously Josephs, and she married Roll. She's still alive. And you had Josephine Josephs. She died a couple of months ago. And then you have
Josephine was a
Teacher.
school teacher.
a
the
school
grammar
teacher,
school.
Grammar school.
and then she worked in the department. I think she was in the after teaching. She was working in the department of education for a while,
Yes.
permanent secretary in education for a while, before she retired, and then she passed after a while. And then you have Juliet Josephs. She was working with the lawyer Vanya Jupini. Julia Josephs. And then you have Clementine Josephs. Then you have Judith Josephs. Then you have Marlene Josephs. Then you have Marilyn Josephs. And you have Vivian Josephs by my father's side. Now my brothers by my father's side, you have Clarence J.C. Josephs. And then you have Osborne Josephs, Ozzy, who was Josephine's brother. Was also my brother who died in a landslide at Botica. I think it's 5 guys. They were on the bridge working, and then the landslide came down and buried the whole 5 of them under the landslide. It's Ozzy Josephs. And then you have Jason Josephs. Then you have Alec Josephs. They're both deceased. The brothers. Then you have Jepson Josephs. That's the one, same mother, still alive, same brother, same mother with me. Yeah, still alive.
So how many in total?
Huh?
I wasn't even a count. How many in total your father had?
Total, I think it's 14 children my father had. 14, 15, yeah.
Your father worked where in Roseau?
Huh?
Where did your father work?
My father was a general postmaster. Yeah.
I felt.
But he was in the RAF, you know. My father was, in his young days, he was in RAF in the World War II.
Yeah.
But originally my family, my father's side came from Antigua when Dominica was part of the Leeward Islands. There were a lot of people coming from, in these days, from St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, like mostly Margaret people and people from the North Wesley, some from Woodford Hill. You know, in those days they used to come here to they came here, but my grandfather came as a teacher to Dominica, and so my family by the father's side, the Josephs, came from Antigua to Dominica.
So your father was part of the Royal Air Force?
Yeah, my father was in the RAF, World War II, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, World War II.
Mhm.
I think when he died, he got a state funeral, you know. But I wasn't here in Dominica. I was touring for band at the time, you know. So I wasn't here.
Well, many Dominicans during the Second World War, some of them joined the army.
Yeah.
My father himself was in the army,
Yeah,
West Indian Regiment.
yeah,
So many Dominicans was in the RAF,
yeah.
and some of them flew over Germany, and some of them got killed as well. You know, so that is Kobe was in the RAF as well.
Mrs. Kobe, yeah.
So quite a number of Dominicans.
So now you raised in Pottersville.
Yeah, born in Pottersville, raised in Pottersville.
Born in Pottersville, raised in Pottersville.
Yeah.
Give us the life that you lived in Pottersville. What school did you go to as a boy growing up?
Well, the first school I went to was a convent prep. The second school, and then
Hold on. Convent prep. So in those days, if you went to convent prep, well, how you considered?
Well, middle class. The man father was postmaster general. So a big post, you know.
Yeah,
A big boy.
I went to the convent, but my aunt, my father's sister, was married to Mr. Richards, and they were also from St. Kitts. Some of the Richards was from St. Kitts. They were living here, and then he married my father's sister, and he was the headmaster in Marigot. Then they moved him he was the headmaster of the Marigot Primary School, and they moved him to Roseau Boys School. So whilst I was in convent prep, my aunt decided, that the family there, I have to leave convent and go to Roseau Boys School, because he was the headmaster. So they moved when I was in 4th division in Convent Prep.
4th division.
4th year that they call it
That's what it's
1st
called.
division, 2nd division, 3rd division.
First time hearing that though.
Yeah.
And it's
At the
standards.
time in Convent Prep, it was 1st division,
Uh-huh.
2nd division. I was in Miss Bully's class. That was Alwyn Bully's mom. In Miss Bully's class, some cousins of mine were there too, like Vivian Wallace and Tony Winston. Well, Tony Winston was a little older, but Vivian and I.
Vivian who played for Exile One.
Yeah, Vivian played Exile. He's my second cousin. Okay. His mom is my first cousin. Yeah, and Tony also. Yeah, so they move us to all of us. Vivian, Tony, myself. They move us to Roseau Boys School in Newtown. So I went to from there we moved to Roseau Boys School, and then we was in Roseau Boys School in Newtown. And then for a while, and then they had. They say where they have the clinic in Roseau. No, they had a clinic in the old Roseau Boys School, or the old grammar school in Roseau, right? It was the old grammar school, I think. And then they move us there to the old grammar school in Roseau.
For persons who are trying to wonder where he's talking about where the All Saints University is. And where the old Roseau Boys School was.
Right, and very interesting that he mentioned Mr. Richards. Mr. Richards was a very ardent principal in terms of he was a man who enjoyed playing the violin. He loved music.
Well, actually, he thought the violin was belonging to my aunt because the musical family was by my grandfather. My grandfather had his own private school where Sylvia Johnson had a class. That when he came from Antigua. He had his. I didn't know him. He died before I was born, but he had his school there, and he also taught music. And he taught most of the guys, like Mr. Christian, and most of the guys. He taught them music when he came from Antigua to Dominica, right? So that violin was belonging to my aunt, but he married to my aunt, and then with the musical family, he picked up the violin, and then he played the violin. But the violin was really belonging to my auntie, my father's sister, who he married, right?
Okay, so you're talking about you went to the Roseau Boys School,
yeah.
All right, in Roseau.
Newtown. That was the Roseau Boys. He was in Newtown.
But then you said you were transferred to the other Roseau.
No, they moved the Roseau Boys School to Roseau,
Uh-huh.
and lower down there was Chateau, Miss Watley. Lower down there was another school that way there, Roseau Boys School. That's where, you understand? That's in Town there where there's a health university there right
All
now.
Saints University.
Yeah, and that's where I was in Miss Murphy's class, standard 4, a whole set of guys like Vivian and different guys, and there was Chris Seraphin that was standard 4B, Chris Seraphin, and there was Miss Murphy's class, and then upstairs was Dennis Joseph. Right, but the headmaster was Richard was the headmaster, right? And then I stayed there for a term, and then the Goodwill School, they opened the Goodwill School, the new Goodwill School, that was in 1965, right?
So before you continue, we need to say hi to a few persons who are actually on Facebook with us. Fixtroy Laura says good, is watching. Randy Turner, attorney, is also watching. Sandra Sayer says that good evening to everyone. Teresa Frigis says that she's watching from the US, and she said good evening to Brain and Cecil. Alvan Christopher, good night guys, and Winnie Green, good evening Cecil, Brain, Julian, and the Lakou fans. Shepherd Pond said that he's looking, and he said big up brothers. Egbert Greenaway said respect gentlemen. Juanita Jones says, my friend Julian, there's another name you have. Yusef?
Yeah, Yusef?
Yeah, Yusef Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph. Julian Yusef Joseph.
Yeah. And Augusta Liverpool says, good night, my dear friend Julian, big up. So that's a person who knows it very well. And Juanita Jones again says, used to stay on my veranda in Upper Lane and look down into the schoolyard. Frederica James is watching, and Nadia Karam says good evening, listening as usual. Brendan Williams says that he's watching. Joel Hamilton is on, and Shirley Joseph is also watching. So we have quite a number of persons already on with us, Julian. So you are on business. Some of the friends are already logged in. So Julian, yes, so you said that you called a number of names. So
Right, Chris Seraphin.
Chris Seraphin was
Yeah,
one.
Chris Seraphin, yeah.
He taught you.
No, Chris Seraphin was in standard 4B. And then there was Miss Murphy in standard 4A. So I was in 4A. And then the upstairs, the older guys like Son Jackson, most of the guys that used to play in Harlem Rovers from Newtown, Loftus and those guys, Herbinus and those guys, the older guys. They was in standard 5 upstairs. That was Dennis Joseph's class, right?
Dennis Joseph class.
Dennis Joseph was upstairs.
From a manager of DBS Radio.
Right, he was upstairs. Then when we had one term there, the Goodwill School opened, and they say guys living across Pottersville have to go to Goodwill School. It was Goodwill Junior High School. And then the headmaster was Mr. Robinson, right? And then I had to move across the bridge because I was living across the bridge, Pottersville. So then I ended up going to Goodwill School.
Strange, strange. You are closer to the Roseau Boys School.
Yeah.
But just because the river is separating you from the river,
Yeah.
you have to go to
Goodwill School,
which is further from your home.
Yeah. Because we were Newtown, and then we moved to Roseau. We have to go to Roseau. That was the norm, We have to go to Roseau Boys School there. That right in the heart of Roseau there. And we had to move. So the whole class had to move to that school there. And then after one term there, the Goodwill School opened. And then a whole set of guys had to move to the Goodwill School, right? Some guys stayed, but I moved to the Goodwill School. And then I was in Miss Pascal's class. Yeah, and a lot of guys that I left school, even though I was in convent, I met them back in school again. And then there was a different thing because the Goodwill School.
So you're telling me some guys who were in convent came to the Roseau Boys School?
Huh?
To the Goodwill School.
You're saying guys who were in the convent prep?
No, the convent prep, after my auntie's husband was the headmaster. He was in Marigat and they moved him to Roseau, in Roseau Boys School at Newtown.
Yeah, I got that, but I'm asking. You were saying that some guys that you met or who was at school with you at the convent prep,
yeah,
they met you in Goodwill School. You're trying to tell me that
I met them back in like Marcus Hill and them kind of guys.
Okay, so
I met them in Goodwill School. Who stayed? I met I don't know. They didn't make it in convent prep because convent prep was a different kind of school. If you stayed, then you'd go to St. Mary's Academy. It was the link. It was the Catholic thing, and the girls in the school would go to convent. But that was the norm, right? From that convent prep thing. But not my uncle, my auntie's husband, which is my uncle. They sent all of us, my cousins like Vivian and Tony and those guys to Roseau Boys School.
Just want to say quickly, Sonia Williams is watching. Rudy Hector says good night and watching from Guadeloupe. And Bruce Thomas says, is that Boy?
Right, my nickname Boy.
Boy.
Yeah, that was my grandmother who gave me that name.
Okay, Michael Sebastian says he's watching. Julian Frederick said that she's watching.
Boy, man.
Yeah, someone wants to say hi to you. Let's see what the person says. Good evening to you, caller.
Yeah, good evening. I'd like to know if it's Mr. Joseph that is there with you all.
Joseph's, yes.
Yeah,
Julian
Joseph's,
yes.
Boy.
Yeah, my partner was up, boy.
I'm cool, man.
Boy, the man on the organ, I entertaining the whole, the entire areas, I mean, Roseau, and also the region. So how are you, my brother?
I'm okay, man. Taking it one day at a time.
Okay, sorry, excuse me. Excuse me, it's not a good evening to the two other gentlemen. I mean, Cecil and Brain.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I just called to video of my brother. I like your humbleness, and I know you are a very extremely humble person.
Yeah.
And I just want to wish you all the best and continue to what you're doing the best.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Okay, then.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care, bye.
All right.
A little about Mr. Richards, the headmaster. He was a disciplinarian. And, we used to have older guys, like Alan, who was a master musician, a panman too.
Alan John Baptist.
Alan John Baptist was in a higher class, and the morning devotion, that was he used to take that seriously, and he had his violin, and if you catch you not singing, boy, he used to love to beat. He would beat you for that, not singing. He was very strict, man. A whole set of guys, older than guy that were like Fimber Williams and Rudolph Carmichael and all the older guys that was in a higher class. We have morning devotion, man. And he was a Methodist, eh? My aunt was a Catholic, but she had to be a Methodist because he was a disciplinarian.
I just want to also say,
Forth in thy name, O Lord, I go, my daily neighbor to pursue. The only dear result to know in all I think or do. But I was the violin boy, and you have to be singing in key. But the music was a very strict thing in Roseau Boys School, Mr. Richards.
I just want to also say Monet Corbett Anderson is listening and watching from Virginia.
But he used to beat, boy. Richard used to beat with that. Oh, he had a strap, yeah? He beat, man. That was his favorite. Beat everybody, man.
Sorry, just to say hi to a few people. If you don't say that, they'll get upset.
Especially those closer to him.
Hold on, Julian. I'll just say that there's some persons, if you don't say hi to them, they'll get upset on the Facebook. So I just also want to say good evening to Ronnie Thomas. He said, bonjour, my brother, Julian Joseph, a.k.a. Bomzi.
Bix, man.
B-I-Z, yeah.
Bix, yeah. Well, I got that name from sports, you know.
Yeah, okay. Boy, another Dominican musician, maestro, who represented the liquidized band in the moment of Cadas threshold. Yolan Kepper says she's watching, and Wynant Jones says Rudolph.
But the bomb big thing is a thing I don't like, eh?
Anyway, let's come back to you now. So here it is. You went to school, as you were saying, with some real great musicians, Panmen and so on. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alan. Those guys were older. They were real great musicians, man. Alan and yeah. I remember him very good. He was in a higher class, and Richard was very, very strict when it comes to music and morning devotion.
Yes.
Morning devotion was a serious thing. Every morning you have to go in a thing and go upstairs on the next part, the next side, and you would have morning devotion. He was a Methodist, and the music was take it very seriously, And if you were closer to him, his family, then he'd be hard on you. He'd beat you more, So you had, yeah.
As you're speaking, a number of persons are still sending messages. Kewin Braffett says Bombix. So you must know Kewin Braffett. And also Astrid was a Pinard watching from St. Martin. Corinthia Samuel watching and listening from Antigua. Jennifer Coffey said that she's watching, and Jennifer Coffey says that.
Boy is my original name. The Bombix thing I don't like.
Boy is your original.
Boy is my original nickname. Julian Joseph. Boy. But the Bombix thing that come through. I used to be in sports too. Eh?
Yeah, why Bombix?
Well, everybody was giving everybody a nickname in the 70s. One Corbo, and one, different thing,
So why Bombix?
I don't know, boy. I don't know.
Why Boy?
Well, Boy, but my grandmother gave me that name as a youth, My grandmother. That's the nickname I had home.
Liked you a lot, man.
Boy. Yeah.
Boy. That's a nice
B-O-Y-I-E. Boy.
Yes, Boy. Yeah, that's a nice name. So yes. So you are in primary school. What about high school?
Well, actually, what happened? My sister was also a teacher in the Roseau in Goodwill School when we moved to Goodwill School, and then we moved to Tech Wing. I had to move to Tech Wing. But moving to Tech Wing, there was this thing opening in the youth camp at Londonderry, and my sister, the same one, Josephine Joseph, decided she was a very important part of my life. That best I go there because I had a lot of talent. And then when I went in the youth, I was in one of the first guys, that the Major Old Johnson, the youth camp at Londonderry. It was like they had the original thing. They had Trinidadians, they had Jamaicans, they had St. Lucians, they had Vincentians, they had Grenadians, and there it was like different trades, man. It was electrical. They also had music. They had sports. They also had agriculture, and then I ended up going there, and then they had sports, and then that's where I learned a lot of different things, And when I graduated there, from there, I moved straight to the Botanical Gardens because you had to graduate. If you graduate, a lot of guys didn't graduate, they couldn't make it. And then I ended up in the Botanical Gardens. That's where I started working with the government, the Botanical Gardens.
So give me your life now in Pottersville. Tell us the things, because in Pottersville you have Balautong, so which means
Pottersville was big ass. Fellas used to have a kind of bird big ass with catapult. And when you see Titin well, like it was fishing. We used to go in the river, different, the river used to be full of fish, with crayfish and and a lot of fishing, man. It was a good time, a lot of sports, because they had potters. Like Cecil, Elwin, Shapi, Abu Ba. You see, have a name Abu, right? At that time, they used to call guys different names. Sports we had a sports team, like McDonald Roberts on the sport team. He was older. McDonald Roberts is deceased now. And we had the Pottersville cricket team, and we used to play against different travelers. Davis, and a lot of different teams, around in the cricket thing. And Pottersville was really good, man. They used to have, when you see school holidays, everybody in the river, going to hunt up the Botanical Gardens, Those days was really, Dominica had a lot of life because they used to have a lot of grapefruit. Elrose and Company, we used to produce a lot of grapefruit,
but
right?
before we go into the grapefruit, because I want to take it stage by stage. As I say, now I just want to say good evening to Wayne Robinson, who's watching, Jared Dossett, who's also watching, and Nicholas Dennis, who's also watching. So you lived right next to the river.
Yeah.
On Johnson
Avenue.
Just by Pifso Street. But when you cross the bridge, there was two bridges, like I knew, the old bridge and the new bridge.
Mm-hmm.
When you cross the new bridge, you go right. There was Miss Francis. That was Eustace Francis' house. Mm-hmm. Eustace Francis' mother's house, right? Mm-hmm. It was a flat wooden house, right? And then there was the Lieberds. They were also from St. Kitts. The Lieberds, like Mr. Liebert, Joe Liebert, and Egbert Liebert, and Henry Liebert, and the Lieberds and them. I know them little boy growing up. They were our neighbors. And then there was the house, Joseph's. My grandfather was from Antigua. When he came from Antigua, he bought this house from Daniel Green, because the Greens used to control a lot of property in Pottersville. Daniel Green's father, my grandfather, bought that house from him. That house is still there. So that is where I was born. And then there was... There was Henry John. You actually telling us close to the Swansea Domino. Yeah, that was from my Henry John, close to the next house. Right, that was from in the yard there. So I just want to give people a Swansea Domino Club, a clear understanding as to where we are actually talking about. Johnson Avenue. Yeah, Johnson Avenue. Right. That's so that you see, and then you have this wall there. Yeah. Right. There wasn't a wall there yet. At the time you were growing up, you could just leave your street and go down the road. Go down by the river and go and catch your crayfish. That river was full. We used to go up the river right up Sikwi under power. So let's talk a little bit about the river, because that gets me excited. I know. Because I know where you live. I know where you live. Yeah. In that time, I mean, your sisters and them are still living in that house. Yeah. Your dad had a nice garage there. Yeah. Actually, that garage was always there. So there's an my aunt had a garden there. It was like a garden, and my aunt and them, they were the seamstress, and they used to have like a shop. Always had a shop and thing. And because one of your sisters worked at DBS, and that is Judith. Yeah, Judith. That's my bigger sister, the one before me. And another sister of yours worked at the post office, right? Yeah, that's Clementine. Yeah, Clementine, right? So so you know the people. I know the family. Yeah. So the Afali know them too. And so the life of the river. You would have been a troublesome boy. All of this flamboyant real troublesome trees, man. Tell us a little bit about that. Well, boy, in those days they used to have gangs. Like Pottersville used to have hot spurs, right? And Roseau, across the River Street, they used to have the Howlins. And I knew those guys, and I used to follow those guys as a young boy, go up in the river, not into crime on what they're doing, I just used to be around them, also hot spurs, and those guys used to be very dominant when it comes to
carnival, because our carnival was really good, right? So when you see carnival time, Carnival Tuesday, all the gangs would come out, man, with mirrors and all kind of things. They have Hotspurs, they have Ebonies, they have the Newtown gang. The Newtown was what's the Newtown gang again, Mr. Hartley? Dumford Rovers, they had the Newtown one, they had the Pottersville, they had the guys from Goodwill, Halcyon, and Upper Goodwill. All the bands used to come out, you know.
But you see, I really want to, before we go to all of this aspect, I really want to get the life of the river. But before we do that, I want to say good evening to Ann Pemberton. She says, season greetings to the team. UK is in the house. So the United Kingdom is in the house. Clinton Anston is watching. Cameron Douglas, I think must be your friend. Yeah. Cameron Douglas. I think Cameron is a musician.
Yeah.
Leon Languedoc, sorry. Yeah. Orlando. Yeah. Some person say Lando, some person say Languedoc. Is watching. And Rosa Cabon, my very good friend. I know that she knows your sister is watching. She worked at DBS Radio.
But the Carbons related by my grandfather. My grandfather's mother's a Carbon.
And she's from Boutica herself.
Yeah, the Carbons are related to me.
Mm-hmm. So before you go into
what you did in the river.
Before you go into all of this,
let's go in the river.
I want to find out about the river.
What you did in the river?
I know you talk about crayfish.
Crayfish and crayfish and a lot of crayfish. Actually, I used to feed my family, and where I used to live, they had so much crayfish that they used to give my father used to take the free, because he on his spare time he used to fish too, right? He used to fish, go out and fish red fish. He had his fish pots and thing. He used to take the crayfish and them and use as bait for the to feed my sisters and them, because my sisters and them was a different lady, you know what I mean? There was a part of where I grew up. There was this woman he had outside, Clementine and Judith.
Hold on, Clementine and Judith. Hold on. So Clementine and Judith and them were not inside.
No. There was never part of the river where we live. Where he was growing up.
So he brought them to the house then. I asked him.
Basically after the hurricane, man. After the Hurricane David, I wasn't even there. Yeah. Because Hurricane David, I was living in Antigua and playing, and I left, and because through the band Below Menting, and
we'll come to that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know whether
there wasn't a part. They were
from another mother.
But let's get it straight, man. Lakou, these were outside children.
The outside children.
Right. and in the Lakou, normally in the outside
one man
children,
have several women.
Yeah. Those outside children.
But you were able to bring those outside children to that one house.
Well, actually, after the hurricane, they came there and they had Joseph's too. So what can you do? You can't say it's a family place, because the Richards, the Richards, my auntie, children like Vivian and them, they also part of there too. They also part of that house too.
You know Vivian Richard, Cora Richard.
Not Cora, Vivian, and Tony and them, my auntie's husband, right? Richard was the headmaster, so the lady now, my auntie, is also part of that place there too. So it was like a family house,
Okay.
It's a family house.
So everybody come.
Right.
and today Judith and the others.
No, Judith and them was my father had them children outside like.
But I'm saying today they're in the house.
They're in the house.
Well. What can I say?
Well, the reality,
that's what the reality. That's what the Lakou life was about.
But Josephine, Joseph, and Ozzy is outside children, and JC. That's another outside child.
What? But your father was a hot man. So you mean woman here, woman there, making children
all over the place. Right? But it's my sisters and them. What can I say? You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's
because the guy.
Your father was a hot man.
That happened quite a lot in the Lakou days, where fellas have children outside.
Yeah, Josephine.
And they're bringing them inside the house. If they cannot support the children.
Hang on. Not only that, the women came in the house too.
Hang on. Let's have that.
Hold on. We're getting hot.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I want to ask Mr. Joseph, the school teacher you were talking about, is it a man who lived in Granby?
Yes, he did at one time.
Mr. Richards?
Yeah, he had a young woman in Granby.
Yeah.
He had a young woman.
Let me tell you. My uncle was married to my auntie, right? He had 10 children with my auntie. And when he retired, right, after he retired in his 60s, He had a young woman in Granby, 40-something years.
Yes, I know that.
And he built a house with the woman in Granby. And have 4
devastated.
children with the woman in Granby again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he has 4 children. I think a girl and 3 boys. One
Right.
died. Yes.
But the children he have is my auntie.
The hospital.
Yeah, but the children he have is my auntie is grown children,
Right,
big children.
big children now.
You check?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he was originated from Antigua.
From St. Kitts.
St. Kitts.
Oh, St. Kitts.
Yes, the Richards was from
Okay.
We from Antigua. My people was from Antigua.
Okay. So are you related to Cecil Joseph?
No. He's a Joseph's.
He's a Joseph's at the S to it.
At the end.
Yeah.
Oh, it's written differently.
Yeah, my
Joseph's.
Well,
So
okay.
J.C.
My auntie.
Joseph's is his brother.
Yeah, my auntie.
Okay. I heard you mention below men. You played with below men.
Not
We'll
yet.
come to that, my brother.
Pontang.
Don't say him.
Pontang.
We'll come to that.
We'll
my
come
brother.
to that.
All right.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So let's go back. Let's go back to the yard because we like Beth.
You like Beth? We say
We like Beth. So your father had 14 children.
14
children.
or
How many
15,
mothers?
15.
How many mothers?
Let me see, boy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 mothers.
4 mothers.
And plus what I do now again.
You see what the Lakou
You
was
see what
doing?
they could do, boy?
So fellas used to have children outside. And
But my father actually had this lady. They used to live in Lubier.
Uh-huh.
The one is outside the children that live there, Pottersville. They were living in Lubier, right? I finally know the whole story, man. I finally know
I know your family, you know.
Yeah, I know them,
Okay.
But my brother, but the house where Pottersville, I was born there.
Uh-huh.
Then my younger brother,
yes.
Jepson, same mother, same father with me. we were there, you know what I mean? And then after the hurricane, it was a different scenario.
Okay. I just want to say, Teresa Fridges says, Silma Francis, good night, and climbed.
But the Richards has
Hold
always...
on. I just have to say hi to some people. Smart, PC Smart says, good night, everyone. Kirby Samuel is watching. Kelvin Ambrose is watching. And Clinton Ambrose said, I like that oneness, but many outside siblings. That was the life.
That was the life.
That was the life of the Lakou.
Yeah, that was it, man.
You know, let's go ahead. Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then, but my aunt, got married to Richards, was also part, because his sisters, they were also there in that. There's part of them. So Vivian and his family, Vivian and those the Richards, my auntie kids also had a part of that thing. But due to the fact that Richards was a very disciplinarian, they were was living in a different area. But it's also because somebody was raised there. I remember that Miss Guy. That's Richard. That's my aunt, Richard.
Cecil.
Yes.
Cecil, Mr. Ambrose.
Yes, my girl.
Madam.
Yes, Vado.
Yes. I listening. That is Florence, man.
Your father was a hot
Yes,
pepper
my
now.
friend.
Your father was a hot pepper. Stop that.
I 24, but you know.
24?
How many mothers you know?
Woo! Lawrence was a dangerous fella,
Boy,
man.
he was a hot boy, I telling you. How many mothers? I have a brother in Antigua. He and I a month for party.
We born
Same
here.
year, different food. Boy, that is the life of the Lakou.
Oh,
Go on,
boy.
I'm listening.
All right. Thanks. Thank you. So Vado father
24. With how many mothers?
Boy.
Lawrence was
Lawrence wasn't easy. That shoemaker. Much as if he was a postmaster.
he changed a lot of souls.
So now I'm trying to get you to tell me a little bit of the river, because I know in those days that river area, that's where Vado herself used to be living.
Yeah, across the bridge.
You know,
That's a massive river, man.
it's a massive river.
Massive.
And as you said, there was these 2 bridges. So
Yeah, two bridges.
So you're living in between the 2 bridges.
In between the 2
Right.
bridges.
So Mile Kaka was a very popular thing.
Huh?
Millet.
Mile Kaka.
Millet, yeah.
Yeah.
But what happened? The people and them, some of the people and them who used to live over the like high up the river from River Street. Some of them had got toilets and things, so they used to throw all the digging into the river at the time.
Yes.
So then what happened? They used to wait till when the river come down, because it used to come down when rainfall. It come and clean. So just after the river come down, the next day, you find a lot of people fishing. I remember a guy, they call him, what's his name again now? He used to fish, always with his long stick and always fishing, man. The next day, everybody fishing.
Everybody
man,
fishing.
You know what I mean?
Mile Kaka like joke.
It's
Yeah.
a joke, man.
What about Titiwi?
Kamenti, the man used to fish too.
Kamenti, all them fellas with net and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, they used to down to the gel bushy way.
Yes.
A lot of things used to go on in the gel bushy way. It was big, it wasn't small like that. No, you have to like you used to have guys kuilam like how they kuilam now they're surfing. They go in the river, the mouth of the river, and they're waiting for the waves and they're surfing up to the river, surfing up. That was a favorite thing when guys get holidays.
So in your area, did you all catch any titiwi?
Yeah, man. We used to have a lot of TTV down in the river mouth, Jelbushi way.
Yeah.
That's the Jelbushi way.
And at that time by the river, I mean, they still like that in terms of the trucks in those days. Your area didn't have trucks, but on the other side.
The other side, they used to have a bus service.
Yes.
I remember growing up as a little boy, they had a bus service. They used to have a lot of popsicle trees going right down,
Yes.
going right up, right to the top, to the old bridge. And it was a very
Flamboyant,
organized.
we call them flamboyant trees.
Eh?
We call them
Yeah,
flamboyant
flamboyant
trees.
trees.
Flamboyant trees, yeah. They used to have it from way back, from where on the
By
side.
the market.
Yeah, by the
coming up.
market, where the boulevard is there right
Yes,
now.
right.
That changed a lot,
To
and
the
they used
bridge.
to have it going up, right up, and they used to have organized buses.
It was right by the toilet, right?
Yeah. All going down there, go on the next side of the bridge, going up, and they used to have that organized bus service. It used to be Austin buses, right?
Yes.
And they used to have Portsmouth, Vickers. You can get a bus, But then it changed up. As a little boy, I think it changed up, and then on the opposite side, on the same side, I think when Patrick John was in power, there was a restaurant there, a fella named John Ville had a restaurant
John
right
Ville,
there.
yes.
And then he had a little boulevard there with a Dominica map, and then a little thing, and we used to play a lot of cricket there.
Yes.
On that side of the river, where it is.
That's on river on river bank.
The river bank.
Right,
That's on the
river
next
bank,
side, not
yes.
Johnson Avenue.
Yeah, not just on river
Johnson
bank.
Avenue had a big flamboyant
So
tree.
you cross the river, or you're crossing the bridge.
Just cross the bridge. Some guys used to come across the river. But after a while, as growing up, when I reached a certain age, I never used to link more on the Pottersville side. I moved across to the Roseau side with other guys.
Just hold on, somebody's on the line. Let's see what the person has to say. Good evening.
Good evening.
Bombik, Muku, I am familiar.
Muku, man. What go on, Muku?
I am familiar with the man.
What man?
I am too.
Dyrem Pearl. Yeah,
Oh,
Dyrem Pearl.
Dyrem Pearl. That
Muku is
must
my
be good
boy. Hey, watch it, sir. Let me tell you what happened. When we were playing cricket on the opposite side of the river, right? By Johnville side, not on the Roseau side. On the Roseau side, because I use more link on the Roseau
Not
side.
on the Pottersville side.
No, and playing cricket, and Muku come, they have to have different guys bowling, man. And Muku bowl at time, and I hit him a six. Fellas say that's the biggest six, not even Brian Lakou, just six like that. The six go right over, cross the river, right over, man. Right over, fella. It had guys of cherry down there. Back whole day.
Cecil,
Yes.
ask him who ball him behind his back.
He wouldn't say that one. He would never say that one. Muku will never say that one. But between you and I, Muku used to bowl very slow,
Boy, Muku was a very talented. Although, hey, Muku catch a lot of fellas,
Yeah.
especially soccer, Muku was a boss.
Thanks, Muku. Dyrem Pearl, I remember Dyrem Pearl. Dyrem Pearl lived in Benjamin Lane in Good.
Yeah.
Right. And Dyrem Pearl had like a river fish.
Yeah,
boy,
I
like a-
remember him, yeah.
I remember Dyrem Pearl.
Yeah.
And,
They love it.
Well, yes, man.
Especially the cocoa.
We're talking about Coco. Coco is so much of a nice name, my brother. It's Mile Kaka.
No, they have another one they call the cocoa.
The Coco,
Cocoa,
is the
yeah,
black
cocoa,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
What's the black one?
The black one.
Yeah, they are dummy. They are dummy.
They have dummy.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, did you use dummy by any chance?
Did you?
Eh?
Did you use dummy by any chance?
To increase
Yeah, boy,
anything?
because under the new bridge.
Hold on, I ask you,
To increase anything?
Did you use dummy by any chance?
Yeah, I used to eat dummy.
No, not
No. Did you use it for therapy?
So I never use it.
One mix. Did you ever use Teta?
Did you ever use state and put it on the stone, boy?
Yeah, I never used Teta because Teta was a thing. It used to have big ones, but I never used to use that. I used to use Cocoa, I used to use Mille, and I used to use Dummy. Because under the new bridge, there are big bass, there are deep bass,
Yes,
man.
deep. Yeah.
under the new bridge, right?
I remember that too.
Very deep. I remember that very deep. And they used to have a lot of big dummy under that river there. Big, real big dummy. We used to dive that and, yeah.
You ever stay?
And man used to stay. I don't know if you stayed on the.
You ever stayed on the
you
bridge?
Stayed on the bridge and jump.
dive?
Yes.
Dive, jump.
Yes, that was
Jump.
the old bridge, the new
Yeah,
bridge.
the new bridge,
The new bridge. We used to stay and dive below the bus on that bus there.
Well, I never dive
But
and
the
jump.
old bridge now had another, but you couldn't stay because it was more stony.
Yeah, very stony.
I know fellas fall from the bridge and always mash up themselves there from the on the old bridge. But after that, there was a flood. There was a bad rain thing like a Erica, and it brought down. It changed up the whole thing. That time a fire brigade guy got drowned there.
Right, I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah.
One, if you knew about that.
Yeah, that was in 72 or sometime there.
thereabout, yeah.
And it changed the whole structure of the river.
So before you continue, I just want to say that Lakia Joseph is watching. Russell Hendo, history changed thus the year. Evelyn Braffrit, I think, is watching. Andrea Luge. Hi, Bombi. Connie Luge is watching.
Connie, man, that's my schoolmate. That's my schoolmate, man.
Arlington Lawrence, big up, bro. So your partners and them starting to send
Yeah,
messages.
Connie, that's my boy.
Yes.
We all go to school together.
And so you're saying that you ate teta.
Tita.
No, not teta. I don't eat teta. I never eat teta.
Millie.
Me, I eat Millie.
You eat mealy.
What about Zanji? You eat that?
Yeah, I eat Zaji already.
No, you're earlier on you were talking about big ass. All right. Where
Yeah.
were you staying to send this stone behind the big ass?
Well, actually, the Vegas used to, when you go down,
Go ahead.
The road used to, before they had to have the infirmary way down, right?
Yes.
Now, then they had a place. Some of the poorer people they moved to a piece of land they called Betong. But before Betong was there was a piece of land right there, and a lot of birds used to be coming there, blind by the bay, coming by the bay because by the river mouth, go all by the bay was a fishing area to go right. There were fish houses, there were boat houses. Guys that have boats that go and fish used to have boat houses from that little area there, from the end of the bush with the river mouth, go right up as fast Fokole. Or on the beach there, used to have fellas with boat houses, all Pottersville, right? So when you reach at that end by the infirmary, they have boat houses at the back going right up. And there was a piece of land there, and the biggest and them used to come in different flights of biggers, all different varieties. They have the bigger ones, they have the smaller ones, and guys used to have catapults, right? Guys used to have catapult, and that time catapult was our thing. The rubber, the red catapult, the rubber catapult, and then we used to go and wait for the birds when they come and, kill them and thing. A man used to roast birds, roast the biggers right by the river there, right, But higher up now, by Johnston Avenue going up, some used to come around that area, but not much. The more used to come down to the river mouth at the back before Betong was there. There was also the Vauxhall garage there. That was Eric, the guy that got burnt in the fire. Eric
Shillingford.
Eric Shillingford. That was the Vauxhall
Garage.
They used to have the Vauxhall cars there in Bedford.
Truck.
Yeah. That was the main place there. And then higher up now, coming up to the bridge, there was Bosie Winston. I know him as Bosie. He had Esso.
I was about to ask you about the gasoline station.
The Esso gasoline station.
And Prentice afterwards had
Prentice come after.
Right, yes.
But there was Winston, the man Bosie Winston, Esso. And then you coming up, there was a big tamarind tree just after, as you're taking the turning, a big tamarind tree.
By the bridge.
Yeah. Right there. Under the new bridge,
yes.
And there a big basse under that new bridge right
Yes.
there. Remember that very good.
I can see that tamarind tree there to myself.
Yeah. So as you turn the bridge now, it be that big tamarind tree there, and facing where there's a guy selling things on the opposite side, there's a lady living there with a big mango tree right there on that side there, the opposite side there, massive mango tree. And then you're going down Bosie and you're going down that, and then when the Clarentons living down there, they're still there, the Clarentons, and you're going lower down.
They must name the streets, my brother. When people they have a better
The
understanding.
Stieber Street going
Yes.
that way
inside.
and then you go to Elliott Avenue. Right, and there
by
was Daniel Green
Green,
now.
yeah.
Daniel Green,
Yeah.
Theodore and them fellas, Theodore and Roland. Their father had a place there.
It's a place for the old people. Where's in here?
that was the old people. That was the old.
Get close to the mic, now, please.
Yeah, next to it, there was Daniel Green.
Yes.
Mr. Green. He had all kind of variety of birds and all kind of the different. He had parrots.
Hold on a while. I'm Julian. Good evening to you, caller.
Yeah, good night, guys. What's up?
Good night.
Your partner.
Who's that?
Chicago.
Chicago, man.
Yeah.
Eustace, man.
Yes, man.
What go on, Eustace?
I good, like the vibes, man. I hear you good, no good. I hear you good, no good. I hear you good, no good.
Eustace was on the opposite side of the river.
Yeah, man. Tell them about the big tree, man, where we used to play good cricket.
Yeah, that was on Roseau. That was on the Pottersville side.
Yes, just by your son CD there.
Yeah, that's what it was a big tree. Yeah.
That's before. So Chicago,
you
Chicago. That is before. That's before they build the wall, right?
Yeah, man.
The wall,
Before they build the wall.
Before the wall, man.
Yeah.
Before
The
the
same
wall.
flood bring down the river. The same flood bring down that tree.
But that was somewhere around 91.
Yeah.
71 to be honest.
71,
Yeah.
Yeah, 71 to be honest. That's when you take the fireman.
And there was paths. Go
Yeah.
straight up the river on the right hand side that burned down. There was a time every All Year's night there was a fire in Dominica for years.
For real.
Right?
For real.
Every All Year's night there was a fire in Dominica.
They're still nearly passing one,
All Year's night, they almost get you.
As he said that, it does bring memory to me, and I guess that goosebump. Yeah, I got it.
All Year's night?
Yeah,
What was
that
happening?
still was youth, but he nearly passing one.
I wasn't a year yet.
You almost died inside one?
Yeah, I
was
wasn't a year yet, and then I went to country.
Yeah, but they saved him from that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one by where Mother Sheshes.
Yeah, there was another Miss Olive and them.
Yeah.
That
By Miss
burned down.
Olive.
Another New Year's, another All Year's night again.
Yeah.
And the previous
Yeah,
All
man.
Year's night, where which churches were Jacob, Mr. Jacob, that burned down and then another All Year's night again. Yeah.
Yeah, which church is there currently?
Yes.
Yeah, that was an
Yeah.
All Year's night, and then an All Year's night previous to that, we have Bata, we have the court houses at the back, we have where Nassif have that supermarket there, that whole area burned down,
Another
That was the Riviers.
Yeah, the Riviers.
Another All Year's night?
Yeah.
Big fire there again.
Yeah, the All Year's night.
Yeah, man.
Every All Year's
But
night,
when
they
we
used to have
keep
a
it
fire.
up, man, I dare listening, man. I dare to support you in anything because I know what you're saying is real.
Yes.
And I remember the Hillman from your old man.
Yeah.
But that was
The Hillman Minx, you know who bought that? Lord
Hillman
Breaker.
Minx.
Lord Breaker bought that
Who
from
bought
my
that,
father,
man?
cheap,
Cook.
who buy that?
Lord Breaker for Gailhards.
Yeah.
Breaker bought that
Yeah.
Hillman.
That's when he broke his leg.
Eh?
That's when he broke his leg.
Yeah.
No, he broke his leg on a bike.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was riding, because I had a little bike.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
break about
yeah,
the old hill man.
He bought the green man from my father, yeah.
But the old Hillman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cream
Hillman
and
Minx.
red.
Yeah, blood, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yes. Thanks.
Look history,
Yeah.
boy.
So
Anyway, guys, I listening. Take it easy. Anything I dare.
thanks, man. Yeah. So, Bombix. So we give the life of the river. You catch big ass. You knock out big ass. There's a wood that we used to use,
What's
for
that?
the big ass when you hit them, the catapult.
You bully them?
Bully. We have to use the Lakou.
Big ass,
Bully,
yeah.
yeah, you bully.
Bully the big ass.
Yeah.
Bombix say kill.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
bully.
Bully the big ass.
Bully the
big
big
ass.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after you bully
Guys
the-
used to have catapult like a gun, like a gun in their back
Yes.
pocket.
Hang on, Bumpy. But you must call first, second.
My name is Julian. I don't like the bomb mix.
Yeah, Julian.
Well,
Julian.
We're gonna call you Bombix right away.
Well, it's cool, I mean,
Good evening, caller. Good evening.
Yeah, Cecil, two people get consumed at fire,
Which one?
The ladies.
You raise your name, people. Two people get consumed at fire,
The one in Bata.
No, when Nassif was
the one
there.
by pass, right?
No, by where Nassif was there.
Oh, yeah, Nassif, yeah. That
Two
is
people
the
get
older one,
consumed
yeah.
in Fire,
Like the Riviers,
and
yeah.
the servant jumped down from the window to save her life. But two
That's
people
true.
get consumed in the fire.
That's true.
Yeah.
And there
Okay,
was the fire, by Madesh there.
Yeah. And the one by manager I was in.
You almost get
myself
killed.
and Tony Marco.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Myself, I was a baby. Tony was, I think, just about 1 year older than me.
Tony Marco. That's his brother there, Boogie. That's his brother there.
Boogie, yeah. Boogie outside is his brother.
Conga and them fellas.
Conga.
And I see got Ghost Flesh, man, because
Yes,
it brought memories. You almost lose your life there.
As soon as what's his name? What's his name?
The partner that who just
Chicago.
called?
As soon as Chicago made mention of it,
Yes, yeah.
it just. I mean, I was told about it, because I
Okay.
was not a year yet.
All right.
You check, and
So
that's
what
not
was
right.
happening? You mentioned the thing every New Year's Eve.
Every New Year's Eve, there used
In
to be a
Roseau.
fire in Roseau.
Oh,
Every New Year's Eve. And them time they have a lot of fireworks, like Bandit, and the main man that used to sell that was Boise, Mr. Boise Thomas. Remember Boise Thomas?
No, you were not living far from the cinema. Once you live in Roseau, everywhere is your yard.
Yeah.
So did you by any chance play cowboy in the old cinema?
Any
In the old cinema?
old cinema?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old cinema. That's where I used to go to movies. They used to have anniversary,
Yes.
and they used to have pit and house and balcony, right? I remember when I went. I remember when I went to see the first Sparrow show there. They had a fella they call Santopia, a short fella. Dove and Pigeon was too good companion. I tell you, Dove and Pigeon was too good companion. But because of jealousy, Dove started to disagree. A short fella, a dwarf. I remember seeing Santopia in the Carib cinema.
So you would have heard this guy, Ozzy Lewis singing too?
No, I didn't hear Ozzy Lewis, but I heard I heard a fella sing. Oh, the last week, Suki tell me she go follow me to BG. When I get back and I'm ready, hear the nonsense Suki shouting. Hey, you must console to pa and you call. I remember that song in the Carib cinema as a little boy. I went to see that show.
There's a partner called Hayden Joseph. He used to sing in the old cinema too. You remember that?
Who Hayden?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Hayden.
All right. We're able to remember that. Right.
I went to see that Sparrow show. Then they had a lot of guys from like Cypher and them fellas. That's a long time. And then Swinging Stars. We accompanied Arrow in the Carib cinema.
Yes.
I was in Swinging Stars.
So we come to that. So here it is. You're in Pottersville.
Yeah.
But you're running as our normal Lakou would.
Yeah.
Kawat in Roseau.
Huh?
You're running Kawat
Kawat in
in
Roseau.
Yeah. We were a Kawat. All of us was Kawat. We used to link up with the other side now. Lower River Street now by Hurricane and them, Schumann and them other fellas. Lower River, that's going down to like the market area. That was another set of River Street, Hurricane and them fellas and them guys. They was more organized and Boucher and them guys, yeah. And then Middle River Street, you coming up, the different rivers, high up River Street. The guy like Mac, the Howlins was the high up River Street. Going to the Windsor Park, and Middle River Street now. There was a panyard there.
Yes.
I was in that panyard.
That is Chocolate County?
No, Chocolate County is a different thing.
It came long
It
after.
was Bishop Steel Orchestra.
Okay.
There are fellas like Alan and
Come to the mic.
Cody Yon.
Stay in the mic. Yeah. Musicians just stay in the mic. So go ahead.
Bishop Steel Orchestra.
Yes.
And they had Errol and Black
Errol
Valley and
Mako?
fella. Not Errol. No. Errol is deceased now.
Oh, Errol that used to do tune pan.
No, his brother killed him. Errol
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And he actually was the organizer for Chocolate County.
After that, they moved to Chocolate County.
Right.
That's after, yeah.
Yeah.
But the band was Bishop Steel Orchestra. It was high up River Street.
So you're talking about where the street is now to the stadium? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
This
I'm talking
special-
about like as you by the bridge and you come across by the fella named Geese. They had a little house. Eddie Steadman, he's deceased now.
That's what the SO band.
No, Bishop Steel Orchestra.
Bishos.
There was a fellow who had insurance and he was sponsoring the band. Bishop Steel Orchestra.
Okay.
Bishop Insurance. And those guys, we came third in the steel band competition. That's Errol, and there was a lot of good pan men there, Vincent, and I was that's where I started playing pan, and a lot of them are guys, Cocos and Sylvester Reed.
So you played for this special?
Yeah?
You didn't play for this special?
No, I started there with them guys, pan and thing. But
So that band was close to the Roseau Boys School, right? The same.
yeah,
Close
close to the Roseau Boys
to the
School,
Roseau
yeah.
Boys School.
And the same round the corner there in the bandstand there.
Yes.
That's,
Yeah.
inside. But most of the guys now, after the band break up, they went down Chocolate County and start that down there. Some of the guys stayed like Christoph and
So at what
Aaron.
time did this special band came? Because this special band was the road where, I don't know if you remember, Black, I don't know if you remember.
The special
The
band
special-
was remnants of Coca-Cola, man, like
Coca-Cola.
Peterson and them fellas, and Pancho, you
Right.
know, and
Alan,
Eddie. Yeah, that was the special.
The special, yeah.
And this special was, you see the same road that we now using at the back of the stadium.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
the
that's
I
this.
know,
Yeah,
I know.
that's this special.
That's
yeah.
the special one.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, okay. So you're telling me in River Street area had about 3 bands then?
Yeah, man, they had a lot of bands. Them, that was River Street was the main street going there. The main street. From way down, come up, from way down by the old market, by the new market, go right up to the Windsor Park.
And some people will not even remember where the National Bank is. That's where the first Spaniard was.
Yeah, yeah.
You remember that? I'm Julian.
Remember the old building?
The National Bank,
The National Bank is, you remember the steel panels there?
Silpan was in the yard there.
that was Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the band.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. That was James Gregoire. He's in Canada.
Yes.
That's James Gregoire and them band. Some of them guys like Alvin Burns and them fellas was in that band, you know. You know, older guys and some of them fellas die, man, you know.
Let me
And this guy there,
let me-
Squarehead.
Let me have that guy can help us with that one. Good evening.
Yeah, look, orchestra.
Speak up, please.
I was captain. I was playing this. Didn't scare it. He got Julian Winston, but then Squarehead.
Squarehead, yeah.
Yeah.
This special.
Peter Smith. He had Vincent. You know.
Vincent?
Yeah, most of them fellas dead now.
Okay,
I
yeah.
used to sing that band.
But I know Vincent used to play pan in Bishop Steel Orchestra. He lives at
I
Pondisham.
used to play band. I used to play steel band. I played 6 bass on the road.
Okay.
Carnival.
Okay.
Advertising for Olo.
Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was in the 60s.
60s, yeah.
67, 68, 69.
Well, I wasn't there. I wasn't a little boy that time. 60s.
Yeah, man. I play on the road, man.
All right.
All right, Colin.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One big.
Yeah. So Bombix, in reference to you living on the Pottersville side and having to come to the Roseau side, what would cause you to come to the Roseau side?
Well, the Roseau side was more interesting. But some of the guys stayed on the Pottersville side and they had their Pottersville thing. Potters United with Connie and them guys, Kelmo. But after we formed a cricket team, we had a cricket team and I was on the side. But those guys remained on that side. But I was more on the Roseau side. I was frequenting the Roseau side guys, you know, like Muku, the cricket, and, you know, I was more on the Roseau side. Yeah.
No, I know earlier on you spoke about gangs. Pottersville had their gang.
The
Roseau
carnival
had their
gangs, yeah.
There wasn't any gang, no?
Tell us a little bit of some of the gangs that you knew of.
Well, I know the Howlins guys, right? I know them. They know me, little boy, growing up, and I know those guys high up River Street. Yeah, and I know the Hotspurs.
You remember any of the fellas in Howlings?
Yeah, man. I know I remember Bethel.
Right.
I remember Mac George. I remember Rani. I remember Pipe Wrench. I remember
Pipe Wrench mechanic. Who was the mechanic?
Yeah, Pipe Wrench. Pipe Wrench was a mechanic. I remember Pipe Wrench. I remember Jab. He just died the other Cornelius. He just died the other day.
Yeah.
I remember it's a whole Saturday. I
Oh
remember
yes,
Japa.
Jab used to play pan.
Yeah?
And Jab used to be playing pan.
He was in the gang.
And he was also in the gang.
Yeah,
Jab was a
Iron. He used to
bad
be playing
boy.
Iron.
Yeah.
Iron.
Yeah, he used to be playing iron, yes.
Yeah, and I know Bethel, and I know Pretty.
You know quite a number of the guys, man.
Yeah, I know all them guys up that way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in the Pottersville side now, I know Augustus. He's a deadly fella, man. I know Clayton Morancy, them kind of guys. I know Big Boy.
Clayton just died.
Big boy, yes.
Yeah, Clayton just died, yeah.
Bad fellas in
Bad
Pottersville.
fellas, Big Boy and them kind of man.
Yeah.
And J Moss.
J Moss, yeah.
Oh, J Moss, a bad fella.
That's the Pottersville.
J Moss.
He was the boxer.
Yeah.
The boxer.
He fought Cobra.
Yeah.
He was a fisherman.
Ooh!
J Moss was bad, you know.
Cobra, the deadly fella.
No, but
Cobra
J Moss
was River Street. Cobra was Howlins.
Yeah.
He was in the band to my bandstand, Bishop Steel Orchestra.
Uh-huh.
Cobra was a deadly boy, eh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was also a fellow who boxed. He was a sort of middleweight fella.
Wow, yeah, and he killed a woman in Antigua, you know, strangled her to death.
Who's that?
Cobra.
Oh, Cobra's the boxer, sir.
Yeah, he had a case in Antigua, you know. The man gripped the woman in her neck and strangled her to death, you know.
I just want to say good evening.
But that case viral, and when he came back to Dominica, and then he was there, you know, and then what you saw is what you reap.
I just want to say good evening to Shakira Hippolyte. She's watching. Edwina London is watching. And
Hippolyte, you're talking about Coco Show, man?
No. I'm talking about people who are actually watching the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sweeney is actually telling us about Japa, David Colinius, Mark George, and somebody else said to us, I think Christabel White told us, don't forget Ruben.
Ruben.
Daniel Green that raised Ruben, you know.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. You have history, man.
You have the right history.
What about Desmond?
Desmond
Holding, yes.
All those guys.
Yeah. And Solomon.
Jojo Solomon was the Howlins, man.
Yes.
Jojo Solomon was he was on his own thing, but he always had problem with them guys. Jojo Solomon, yeah.
Another bad guy in Roseau.
Another bad guy again. That's Pottersville side.
On the Pottersville side, Church Lane used to have a steel pan. Remember that big yard? Now I seen these rental companies in there now. But Church Lane.
No, not there. They had the band.
No, they had.
No, the band.
Sorry.
Hartley can tell you about that. Hartley can tell you about Church Lane.
Where was his name? That guy from Mahu.
Right. The land belongs to Thomas Baptist.
That's Thomas Baptist.
Yeah, it used to belong to Combermere, but Thomas have it now.
Yeah, Combermere.
So that area there was where they have. That's where they have the steel pan.
Yes.
Jerome Lestrade, Lis Lestrade.
Right.
The steel pan was right there.
Right there. Dorian.
Musicians, you know, Jerome used to, Garnet Lestrade used to play for Gaylords. You know?
Yeah, he played for Gaylords too.
And Boys and Them, you know.
Boys and Them. But Jerome is here now.
Someone just said to me that my dad was, Wynan Jones said my dad was as a promoter of boxing in Dominica. Cobra was one of his best boxers. He killed a woman in Antigua and put her under the house. That's what he was on.
I mean, he just said
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cobra was a deadly boy.
Yeah.
He had Bo Soleil, he was another boxer. Bo Soleil from Bath Road.
Bath Road, yes.
Yeah, you know all the fellas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had some serious boxers in Dominica.
Serious. They used to have boxing competition in the Windsor Park. And their fella named Bino used to be in charge of that.
Yes, Bino, you have the history.
Andy Williams is watching.
And when Bino moved to Antigua, and then I met him, there was a test match, West Indies versus New Zealand. I have family in Antigua, and Bino was in the bar, anything, and he said, "Hey man, Joseph, come inside, man." So I saw Vivian Richards, and the whole works of them.
Yes.
In Antigua, you know.
Bino.
Hold on, someone's on the telephone.
Yeah.
Good evening to you, caller.
Cobra was my brother, you know.
Cobra was your brother?
Yeah, Cobra's Muku brother, yeah.
Oh, and we never knew that, man.
I was first spine partner. We never learned about that.
Yeah, Cobra was his brother, yeah.
We fixed the hose for the firemen there, cut it to make our gloves. We could not afford to buy gloves.
What you used to cut?
The hose, cut it and cut it like we put our hand and take in sponge, sewing it on it to make our gloves.
Wow. That's it.
Yeah, my brother. I used to start full time on the riverside.
He ever told Muku,
I get a blow in my chest, so I just leave that alone.
Muku, he ever said to you why that incident happened to him in Antigua?
Well, according to what I heard, because what happened is when he left here with his mother in the hospital and he went to sail. Now, when I was sailing, I met him in Barbados on a boat because he left on a lumber boat, but I met him on an Atlantic line. So we never really came back until after that happened to him. He returned. But his then Bomb Dick then told me what happened. But it's true.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jerry Truitt is watching. Good evening to you, Jerry. I think Jerry's in St. Martin. Kerwin Bradford is telling about kid fights. Someone also said that Wynan Jones said that the fights were also in Windsor Park and the police yard.
Yeah, right. But this fella Bino also was at the Coney Island as well.
Yeah, he was in the Coney Island in Goodwill.
You remember the Coney Island?
Of course, Goodwill.
The first Coney Island.
Yes, he was.
I remember
there.
all of them.
The first Coney Island.
Yes.
First Coney Island.
Who had the first Coney Island? I never found out that history.
You remember?
The Coney Island.
The
I
first
think.
Coney
The
Island.
Coney Island came to the first Coney Island was where they have Goodwill on the Savannah.
On the
there.
Savannah, yeah.
Yes.
I never found out who had it, but I know I met.
There was
Barney
one in the
there.
Windsor Park too, you know, time.
Yes, where they had the Ferris wheel, the thing.
They
that
used to have
going up and-
donkey race, you remember?
Yes.
Donkey Derby.
Yeah, but that's where Barney came. I think he came from Barbados.
Yeah, Barbados, yeah.
And then he made children Courtney and them
Yeah.
with Miss White.
Someone just said big boxing between Beausoleil and Cobra.
I saw that
Windsor Park.
match.
Beausoleil beat Cobra with a knockout.
Yeah, he knocked him
Yeah,
out.
I saw that in the Windsor
Knocked him
Park.
out in the fourth round.
Yeah.
I think fourth round.
Yeah. So we really had big boxing in America.
Yeah,
In the Windsor Park.
in Windsor
Wow,
Park.
in Windsor Park.
But
He
he and,
set up the thing right there.
he and James fought 15 rounds.
Yeah.
He was a very good boxer. But that's very interesting. You have the history well covered.
James is
Cobra was a deadly fellow, boy.
Yeah.
But the day Cobra fought James was sick for a whole week. You know, all his face was swollen. You know,
Yeah.
I remember that fight.
But James had to stay in fishing. That's all he could do. Why James had to
But he won the fight.
James won the fight?
Yeah, he won the fight on points. But his face was swollen for days, man.
What about Augustus now from Pottersville?
Which one? You mean the one that's saying
No,
Gopal?
Augustus, he's a pastor now in Antigua, man. Augustus was a deadly fellow in Pottersville, you know.
Yes, I remember him.
Boy. Augustus would fight down, man, and bull him and
So,
his catapult.
so you're telling me in Pottersville, Roseau, to a certain extent, Goodwill had boxers,
Yeah.
and they used to actually have big competition.
Yes. They fought in the academy, they fought in Windsor Park,
Yeah.
they fought in polling station.
Yeah.
But boxing was big, you know. Now fellas don't really Job and them trying their best, but we had better boxers in the past.
But those days you used to have well organized boxing, you know, boxing association and everything.
Yeah, we were
But
big.
a little boy, you know, I was a little boy. I used to go around them guys.
So,
But,
so,
you know.
so tell us a little bit about this, because I'm going to come to music just now. Tell us a little bit about competition of sports in the various parts of Roseau.
Right.
Pottersville.
When I grew up, right,
Yes.
they used to have the Saint Sports Club. They used to have the Spartan Sports Club. They used to have the Potters Sports football team. They used to have Halcyon. They used to have Harlem. They used to have Spurs. Right? They used to have
You remember Spartans?
Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah. When I grew up, then the first opportunity I went to play football. I was the junior team, second division. That was the Saints, right? There are man like Dorian Sims. Most of them fellas died. Grell that died. Grell, who was our teacher.
Grell Seraphine.
Grell Seraphine.
Yeah.
And Georges, Bogoroy, Brinsley Charles, Harris, Dorset, Clancy, Carew. You know, I think I still have that picture in 1972 in the Windsor Park, technical wing area. That was a junior, first division. Those older guys like Dorian and Chaucer Doctor were the older guys. They were the first division. And it was Michael Thomas, because we was working the gardens together. Like he deceased now, Mickey. He brought me and I had to work out with them, go and practice with them fellas and you know, running around. And then after a while, I moved on to Celtics with TK and all them fellas. TK, that was first division, Ian Monroe. Because I knew Ian Monroe was in Roseau Boys School, older than me, was upstairs. And Ian Monroe and them other guys, and that, you know, Celtics.
So sports was heavy in those days.
Heavy.
Heavy.
Very
Every other day used to have sports in the Windsor Park.
Just the Windsor Park.
Yeah. But the strongest teams used to be more Spartans. They used to have grammar school too. They was in first division.
Grammar school, right.
They used to have Harlem and Spartans was the strongest teams, and Halcyon, Bobette and them fellas. Those the stronger teams, man. Celtics too. Rohu and all those other guys. And you had Kensborough. You know. Kensborough used to be a strong team too.
Very strong team.
So that was what is
Cleveland Chillingford is saying, good evening, nice seeing my Pottersville brother. You see the man call you Bombix.
Everybody know you.
Well, that's what that's
your Lakou name.
But it's a Lakou name, way. Because
and
boy,
John-
you know,
you
the
and
Bomb
John
Mix thing
also.
is like the music vibes.
Uh-huh.
When one call you that, everyone is calling you that.
Uh-huh.
So that stay. You know what I mean?
So, Yolan John Joe said that good night, very good history about Roseau. That was the days when I was growing up in Roseau. Roy Cobra and Beausoleil, I know all of this history. One question in those days, the longest wall inside Roseau. One question in those days, the longest wall inside of Roseau. I'm not so sure what he's trying to tell us.
I don't know.
Yeah. But I want to say to you, how did you get now involved in music?
In music?
Yes.
Well, actually, when I was around 15 years, 16 years old by the river, Avril Henderson and Thomas Henderson, they were living in Pifto Street. Under that same tree, we had a big tree on the Pottersville side, right? And Avril used to, by Swansea, Avril used to come with the guitar all the time there, and then he had a box guitar, and then he used to show me certain things, and because previous to that, he was a guy that used to travel. I think he went to Jamaica, playing a lot of bands in Jamaica. When he came back, they had a band, Security Pearls. He used to play lead guitar with them. He was a top guitar player, and I used to learn a lot from him. He showed me chords.
You want to hold a while because I want to take the callers as they're going along. Good evening to you, caller. Good evening to you, caller.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. One second, I need to put this up. Boy,
Yeah.
how you got that nickname, boy?
My grandmother gave me that name as a little boy.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know you know other name.
Right,
you know.
see, I tell you,
Boy.
it's boy. You know me. Some people know me as boy. The bomb mix thing come late.
Oh.
Boy is my name. Boy is my nickname. My name is Julian Joseph. Boy, right? Not affiliate.
Yeah,
That's all.
because I'm saying it's only I never put my here in your right name. I put boy in your right name.
No, there was two
When
boys
we
at
were
there was
growing
two
up,
boy there was two boys at Pottersville. Boy cook, Cuthbert
Yes.
cook. He older than me. The Cuthbert cook, right?
Yes, that was
Boy
older
cook,
than me,
Cuthbert,
sure.
and there was boy,
Yes.
and there was across boy by the river now, by Cherrydon and them, an older man,
All right.
right?
Okay. Well,
And then there was
always
in
thought
between.
Boy is
Yeah.
your name, boy Joseph.
No,
Oh.
my name is Julian Joseph, man. But the bomb mix coming through the music
because
thing, eh?
They were advertising, but who is that person?
And the bomb mix thing
but
that
then
stay, eh?
when the person start talking, I think, but that is boy, man. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Boy, you have a memory, boy.
But the bomb mix thing
my
that.
God. And the name you call in Schumann, all these.
Schumann and we raised together, Schumann and Christoph and Clancy.
Ewo,
Cozy,
and all of us
Ulrich.
down by the river bank there.
Herrick, yeah, I remember.
Judas.
Oh, boy.
You remember Judas as well?
Judas.
I say, but you must remember all.
What about Judas?
But
What about Judas?
You know.
What about Judas?
Yes, Judas. Yeah, why we to trouble Judas? Judas to say, money bobo, money bobo. Oh, Yuri Bobo. And he say, money bobo, and his umbrella.
But the thing is that all the bigger men and them used to be by Judas, like Mr. Guy,
By Judas.
and what the fella name? That's only the Popeye, Oscar, and them kind of men. All them bigger men under that tree gambling, whole playing Ludo. The main thing was Ludo they playing, you know. By Judas, and Judas used to fix us on a bicycle and thing, and they always by Judas, Mr. Guy, and all the bigger men, Yankee, used to be under that tree.
Oh, boy, you have a very good memory for names.
And then you have Papa C on the next side there, Mr. Richards, man.
Yeah.
Smokey and them father. You have Scotty across the bridge. You have Scotland.
Scotland, yes.
Scotland, the shots
You
of shot
remember
people.
George Nanton?
Scotland.
George Lanton and Bill Laurie.
Very good memory.
Anyway, I'm listening.
What Scotty? Scotland and them.
Yeah, so I think I would take that part before we go into the music. so give us some of the more popular names in the Roseau area.
Especially
Panty. We had a Parliament Panty.
Uh-huh.
Well, he don't want me to call him that name anymore, but he's Kelvin Francis.
But he died.
No, Kelvin Francis has his start the business.
What do you call him?
Panty, they used to call him.
They still call him Panty.
He was the best. He was the great best man in the steel band.
Steel band, yes.
A good musician, you know.
Yeah,
You call him? I never know Kelvin had a nickname.
Yeah, but Kelvin is.
They call him Panty.
Yeah, he was the best man.
The first one I know that called Kelvin Panty was his sister Parliamentary.
No, that was his nickname when we grew up together in the band. Everybody had a nickname.
That's what they call him.
They had Black Ali, you know.
You had Black Ali. Who was that?
But he dead now, man. The Black Ali dead.
Okay.
Fellas growing up in this, you know.
So you have Black Ali.
That's on the Roseau side.
Uh-huh.
Because I used to frequent the Potter after a while I left the Pottersville side, and I'm more on the Roseau side because that's where things was happening.
So you are on the Roseau side. So
on the Roseau side.
So you have known about guys like Simbot and Ahara.
Yes, man, Simbot and Bofong and them kind of fellas. Simbot, Bofong and what another fella name again? Stand up on his hand, Muzi. And them kind of guys. Yeah. I know them guys.
Someone
man.
said to me that they can send me a picture of the special band. I want that picture.
Well, that would be good.
I really like that picture.
That would be nice.
So
They should send
I
it.
could put it on DBS Facebook page.
Yeah, man, that would be nice.
Muzi and Simbot.
You remember Harold?
Majestic.
Majestic.
Yes.
And Mawson.
Majestic used to be
And Jellicoe.
Jericho.
Jellicoe.
Let's go back a little bit to Majestic. Majestic was the red fella.
The red fella, yeah.
Living on the hill.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Nicole C's
The
brother.
Nicholas, yeah.
Yeah. So you had Majestic. You had Muzi.
Muzi.
lived in River Street.
River Street.
Yeah, River
The
Street.
Tin
You had
Smith.
Marco.
You had Marco.
Yeah, Simbot.
You had Simbot.
You had Sim.
Can you imagine? Hear that. You have Muzi
Yeah.
on River Street.
Yes.
You have Marco on Hillsborough Street.
Yeah.
You have Simbot on Kelly Avenue.
Yeah.
3 big characters.
Big characters, yeah.
And you have in Lakou.
Yeah, Bofong.
You have
Bofong too.
You have
Where you going now?
You had Bofong. Bofong was from where, the boy? Goodwill?
I think Bofong was from
Roseau, man.
Roseau,
Roseau.
yeah.
Bofong was from
But his
Roseau.
brother, I know, lived in Fonkole.
Yeah,
All right.
Fonkole, yeah.
Then you had they didn't just slip me, you know. So you had Harold Makaksida,
Right.
who stayed on Lagon.
You had George Kokeshat.
Yeah, George Kokeshat, who lives in Great Marlborough Street. Just imagine streets. George Kokeshat lives. You see, right now I see there's a little restaurant there. Right now.
There's a big restaurant.
Like movie John Baptist.
Yeah, that's George Kokesha.
Yeah.
But
George Kokeshat
fathers used to warn their children, don't go around George Kokeshat.
But the thing is that George Kokeshat was a fella who was fixing motorbikes and bicycles.
Bicycles, yeah.
So fella, people, women who tell their little boys, don't go by George.
Yeah. So let's
You like those characters?
let's go to the characters again.
Yeah.
Let's start from River Street.
Yeah.
River Street, you had I don't know who Riverbank had, but River Street had Muzi. Kennedy Avenue, I'm sorry, Hillsborough Street had Marco. Kennedy Avenue had Simbot. Lagon had Harold Makaksida. Great Marlborough Street had George Kokeshat. A little low down Lagon had Sunshine.
Sunshine. Yeah, boy.
Shine, yeah.
Boy,
That flash.
Boy.
That flash. Pee-wee. That flash. Pee-wee. That flash.
That flash?
Yeah.
What he was saying?
Pee-wee.
Who Coxshed had? Coxshed had nobody.
That flash, man.
That Flash, I remember Flash.
Yeah.
Flash was Pottersville.
Pottersville, yeah.
Flash was Pottersville.
Yeah.
Flash had trained my auntie.
But you know a lot of the fellas.
I tried to remember who Cock Street had. Cock Street had Jerry wasn't a character.
He wasn't a character.
I was looking at Jerry White. No, Jerry wasn't a character. But Jerry killed me.
Look, they're trying to get
let
you.
me see if somebody can help me on that. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Cecil.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
I maybe I'll call my uncle name.
Who's your uncle? Bon Dieu.
Which
No
one?
source.
No, we're talking about Simbot. Simbot was Moshe Dashin. I only Simbot that was talking at the best English.
That's what they call him. Simbot
Moshe
Mosu. Sorry, Mosu.
Ah.
And you had English, too?
Mosu. Give my uncle a break.
No, they had,
Bombastic.
remember they had Jellicoe, you know. They had Jellicoe, you know.
Yeah, we'll come to
But
that.
let me tell you something. When I pass in it, Simbot see anybody come close to me, he's standing up for me.
Right. Vashmente to be bombasted.
Mosu Dashin. Everybody's sorry for that Mosu Dashin.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He had the best English.
So someone tell me that Ugly Willie was in Cock Street.
Okay, yes.
Ugly Willie, yeah.
It was in
Yeah.
Cock Street.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
I want someone to confirm that for me because
Ugly Willie.
Ugly!
Yeah.
Ugly!
What would you say?
Ugly! Ugly!
They told me Cock Street also had Fabienne.
Fabian,
Yeah.
yes.
He was young but notorious. That's what the person told me.
Ugly Willie, yeah. And Majestic now.
Majestic, I tell you, live on Constitutional Hill by the Nicole
You have
Seas.
the Nicole says.
Yeah.
Right,
Good looking fella,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, good looking fella, yeah. Majestic. Who Virginian had?
I don't know Virginia.
Virginian had somebody, you know.
The other character.
Virginian had a character. It was a woman, you know. She was living down by in that place, in that hole there. Oh God. Meg Lady, man.
Oh,
Meg Lady. Boy, I forget the name there, man.
not the one that was cursing plenty, you know.
Oh, I can't tell you, man, who Virginian had, man. That guy who used to play the cricket, who used to do like the cricketers.
Viet,
man.
Oh,
Viet,
yeah.
man, from Virginian.
Oh, yeah,
Viet was from Virginian,
yeah.
down in Formico.
Formico, yeah.
Down in
Ovin
Formico.
Kabul.
Yeah.
You say, Laura Kabul, Ovin Kabat.
Yes, man, Viet,
Viet,
boy,
yeah.
I'm gonna forget
You have the
Viet,
character.
Viet, yeah,
Yeah.
Viet, yeah, Viet.
Mapashi Walker was another one.
Well, Mapashi walk,
you
yes.
know? So there was quite a number of women themselves.
Right.
You had Mapashi
Well,
Walker.
Viet,
Yeah. And you had Lady Betty.
Betty.
Flora.
Yeah,
You
Betty.
know, all this
But you know lot of bacchanal, boy. You know lot of bacchanal, boy.
Right,
I don't know
right.
much about Virgin in high up, nah.
Betty, I remember that character.
Remember Betty?
Oh boy, she liked to curse a
In
lot.
Upper Lane, you remember Upper Lane, the character, the female character in Upper Lane?
Upper Lane?
Yes.
I can't remember.
But she had a
I
child.
can't
She had a child
remember
with
Upper Lane, nah.
she had a child with Doc Trove.
Oh, you're talking about the woman with all in lovely English that
Yeah.
Diana.
Diana.
I don't know.
You
Quite.
know Diana?
Oh.
Diana used to be adjacent to Hiram.
I know it.
Joining shop.
Right.
You know by Mazabo on Cock Street.
Right. And you had another character, but he was not really our good friend,
Yeah.
Scotty,
Oh, Scotty.
Mr. Scotland.
Yeah, Mr.
Leave my city, let it be clean.
Leave
No
my-
one disturbs my city.
Is it Mr. Scotland? They call his name Solomon.
Solomon Scotland.
Solomon Scotland.
Nobody disturbs my
Mr. Solomon.
city.
No, oh,
Father
let me
of
tell you now,
Annie
man.
Scotland.
Solomon used to be in pit. And if you see, you can't go inside, he say, you can't go inside tonight. When Solomon tell you can't go inside tonight, you can't go inside.
No, he was collecting tickets.
And at those days, you had Molly Jolly.
Solomon was something else, boy.
So-
And in those days, they used to have their uniform.
Solomon used to have a hat.
Hartman is Casto.
Yeah.
And his bat, well,
Baton, all in
yes.
Patron and all in khaki.
And when Solomon
Solomon,
tell you, close that pipe.
Boy, he
Those
was
days-
something
in those
else.
days, nobody had pipe.
Right. Close my pipe.
Nobody had pipe. And when
Boy, Solomon
passes
he was
and he
something
sees
else, boy.
Someone in that pipe.
Oh,
Close my pipe.
Close my pipe.
Yeah.
This is my city.
And they used to respect him,
This
They
is
used to respect me.
This is my tongue. This is my tongue.
They used to respect him,
Oh yes, oh yes.
But
Solomon was
now
there.
came to the women's character.
Yes.
Well, when the Matlows and them in Roseau, the Matlows and them,
You had Molly Jolly.
the
You had
Matlows
11
come.
sisters.
Right, Jolly Molly.
Jolly
Jolly
Molly.
Molly, yeah.
Oh.
A lot of people do not know where Molly Jolly.
Where she
lived.
was?
Where she died, right, Molly?
Yeah, she
I don't
died.
know, I don't know.
She died. She
That
died. She
fella
lived in
Errol
Pottersville.
Mako.
Errol Mako, Jolly,
Molly
Jolly.
Jolly.
You had a number of them. You know.
Remember Bullseye?
Bullseye was on Bath Road.
Bath Road.
What Bullseye used to do?
preach.
Preach.
He used to have a bell. Bang, that's what he used to do.
But you see, the best thing about Bullseye is he has a guy reading. So he goes in Lakou.
Yeah.
And he start to
Preach.
Yeah.
And he said, get to John chapter 3 verse 16.
Yeah.
No, he said, allez à John 3:16. And the guy would read, and the guy would say, for God so loved the world. He would say, Bon Dieu aime la tête tama. So whatever you say in English, you have to say it in patois. I'm not going to say the Creole ones. That when they read the Bible for him, he had to translate it.
Yeah, translate it.
Crazy.
Crazy fella.
And so it was not easy.
And the Lord sowed his seed.
But he used to have a bell. Bullseye used to have a bell.
Bon Dieu, and I will say the rest. Bon Dieu coude. If you out there, you can say it for yourself.
You can
I don't put it
a
for
close text. You put it in.
So Bullseye was like that. You know what I'm
Bullseye,
saying?
yeah. Short fella.
But this other fella died, the sweetie man, he died just recently, man.
You're talking about
Charlie Moore, yeah.
Charlie
This
Moore.
is a character.
You know, Charlie Moore.
Charlie Moore passed. So Roseau had a life.
Oh my life.
Roseau
You know,
was
those
good.
characters were important.
Very important to the
Were
culture.
very important in our culture.
Dominica used to be one of the top in the Caribbean.
Top.
You know?
Yes.
You had that other character, beautiful woman.
Yeah, man.
All men wanted her.
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
I try to remember me.
Oh, May, she was from Ponkole. She used to sell fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful woman. All man in Roseau wanted to go and sleep with me. Oh, these were the characters going on the lighter.
Yeah. But you know, I think we brush the old street area.
Who they had?
Like we talk about Molly Jolly.
Molly Jolly, yes.
Yes, and we talk about what's his name? Errol Lakou.
Errol Lakou, yeah.
Errol Lakou.
Nobody dancing the twist better than Errol Lakou.
Oh my God, Errol could dance.
He could
The other
dance.
fella from Marigot. What was his name again?
Swaz.
Eh?
Swaz.
Yeah.
Swaz.
But he was strong.
Swaz died
Strong.
in
He
prison.
was.
right?
They shoot him,
They
right?
shot
Shoot
him,
him,
man.
yeah. Swaz wasn't easy, you know.
Oh, strong, man.
Yeah, Swaz wasn't easy.
No,
I've seen
nobody
Swaz.
could shake him.
I seen
Nobody could
Swaz
change
there.
Swaz,
Swaz. I mean, he was a nice guy, but
Nice guy, yeah.
Very bad, very bad.
It's bad.
Somebody trying to reach you.
Yeah, well, let's see what he presents.
People shoot him cold-blooded,
Good
right?
evening. Good evening.
Eh?
Yeah.
Good
And he used to repeat in Lago, AP and Borded Ale Kubwenli.
What?
I don't tell you before. I didn't ask you to say that, but we only said, and you said at your home.
At your home.
What did you
Mocha
do?
Vini
What
Valley.
you calling me? What you trying to mean?
Yes.
And you know, so Iris Capula.
Iris Capula.
Remember this one?
Yeah, well,
Iris-
another character.
Julian, you remember Iris Capula?
Yeah, you're right.
Talking your mic.
Talking your mic.
I don't remember much.
Talking your mic. Talking your mic. Talking your mic.
I don't remember much of the women and them.
Yeah, talk in your mic.
In your mic.
Julian.
I don't remember one of the women and them. I remember
Alright.
Molly Jolly and Errol Lakou. Them, I remember that. I remember Grady.
Uh-huh.
Gretty.
Yeah. She sell fish. I know a fella they used to call, when they had steel band, he was crippled. He used to play the steel band and they used to pull him on the thing from Pottersville.
Oh, you're talking about
Crapo, man.
Crapo.
Crapo. I remember Crapo.
Yes, Kwapu, yes.
He was the best man when it came to
he's
the
good.
greasy pole.
And he used to play steel band well too.
Yeah, the greasy pole, yeah.
He could really do the greasy
I
pole.
remember Crapo.
And Adoti, see someone talk about, remind me of Adoti.
Yeah.
Adoti lived in Pong,
Yes.
Kelly Avenue,
Kennedy Avenue.
you know.
Oh, this is what they
And
must document.
you had that guy, one more sway.
One
One more sway.
I remember. He's skipping man. What's his name?
I
now?
tried to remember.
Character.
Bobsy, one more
Bobsy,
sway.
one more sway.
Popsy, one more sway. You know, and you had quite a number of characters in Roseau. Someone said Iris Capula was in the old market. Children used to say
Can't remember
Iris.
Capula.
Yeah, so I remember Iris Capula like yesterday. Dora Gel Pima.
Yes,
Remember that one?
Dora. Yes. I remember.
Dora Gel Pima. Boy.
Look characters in
We
Roseau.
had characters in Roseau.
We had
Roseau
characters,
quite
yeah.
a lot of characters in Roseau. And Roseau could not live without those characters. I mean, they were very, very important.
Instrumental in the culture.
And so Roseau had to move on.
We must keep those things documented, you know.
Yeah, we kept them documented.
You have to try to
document those names and remember.
Yes.
Roseau used to be, oh man, what I say about the kind of life I grew up, man, we don't have that again, man. Wow. There was good days, you know, man.
Walks up,
yes. Yeah.
They used to have Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
They used to have Juicy.
Yes.
You remember the guy they call Mr. Green?
Mr. Green.
Who was he?
A mechanic.
Mr. Green. Oh, Mr. Green on Goodwill. He lived just behind Cecil Laron.
Yeah.
He died. I think he died in a funny
the
way.
Thing, the engine of the thing fly out and stick
oh yes,
his head.
The fan.
The fan. Yeah.
The fan was a great mechanic.
Mechanic. Always in khaki.
Yeah,
Man.
always in khaki. And he was doing a job on a vehicle.
You remember him, right, Mr. Green?
I was a hillman.
Yeah.
And when he started there and he went
engine,
the
fan flew.
The fan flew out from the engine and stuck his
head.
head.
Kill him on the
spot.
spot.
Right there.
Yeah.
I remember that, you know.
What character?
Yeah,
those days was iron fan, you know.
Yes, iron fan. Yeah. And killed this guy. I remember this guy was a well-to-do guy.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, well-to-do guy. I'm still seeing the house.
Right, they have the house up there in Goodwill. By the Larons at the back on Canal Lane.
Well, actually, Canal Lane, that's what I'm talking about.
Canal Lane, yeah.
Right.
This have a road passing down there.
Close to the
by Sam, you
DPPA
know.
office. You know? Yeah. All right. Sometimes we don't forget Mal. And so many other names that we could think of in terms of characters, you know. And Roseau was really healthy with characters.
Yes.
I mean,
Remember Miguel? Remember Miguel?
Yes.
What's Miguel?
It was a pan man.
Pan man, the pan tuner.
Well, that's like the pan tuners, Miguel.
From Point Michel. He used to tune all the pans.
Yeah, he was in the infirmary at once upon a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not so sure if that's where he passed, but Miguel was good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good, boy.
Yeah. Silver Green husband, that's what the person tells me.
Yeah, Silver Green,
husband,
yeah. They live now in Libla Lane.
Yeah, in Libla
Who's that?
Lane.
Yeah, that's where the mother was. She was a decimal role.
Yeah, decimal role, yeah.
She was a teacher at the Goodwill School.
Yes, she was a teacher.
And also principal.
Yeah. I remember that like yesterday. Yeah, I remember that happened in the 70s. And Keith Footman, better known as Judas, under the tree on Riverbank.
That's right.
Boy, people are giving us the information. So we spoke about the characters, and I think it was important that we make people know that every street in the center of Roseau had a character or two. Yeah. Every street, Bath Road, Virgin Lane. At the time it was Queen Mary Street. Queen Mary Street was from by the Gardens Gate down to the bridge. So you had all kind of characters on that street. From Lakou.
Yeah.
And so there was this guy. He was from Fonkole. He used to have a boy and a girl, and I said they are grown children.
I know he used to have this thing on the blackboard.
Yes, he used to have a blackboard walking all about.
Yeah.
Some Bible
the day of the Lord is soon to come.
Yes.
Who's that?
A guy who used to go every day. He had a blackboard.
Yes, he had a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah, he wasn't a big talker. I never ever heard this guy's voice.
Yeah, but he was always walking dressed in khaki with his blackboard.
Yeah.
And so Roseau, as I was saying, every lane in Roseau, so Virgin Lane, Bath Road, Independence Street, Cox Street, Great Marlborough Street, Great George Street, Old Street.
Did King George V Street, did we call a character there?
King George V Street had.
Who they had?
King George V Street had, my boy.
Who they had as a character there?
King George V Street?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the last street across by the market.
No, that's not King George V Street.
Yeah.
Shine, man. Sunshine.
No,
remember Sunshine?
Sunshine even on Independence Street.
Independence.
Remember Sunshine?
Yes,
I remember.
Sunshine was deadly, boy. Sunshine was a fella like George Kokeshan, you know.
We're not going there. We're not going there. As I say Sunshine, I go straight. I said that already.
Boy, Sunshine will beat you.
Boy. Beelzebub, remember Beelzebub?
Yes.
What's Beelzebub again?
Franklin Moses' father.
Franklin Moses' father.
Yes, Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, I can't remember.
Very strong.
Bandy Leg. You remember Bandy Leg?
Oh, Bandy Leg, I remember
Oh
Bandy
yeah, the
Leg.
goalkeeper
Yes, yeah.
I remember Bandy Leg good.
for Harlem.
For
Yes.
Harlem, yeah.
Yeah. So we had quite a number of this character. Chichi. How could we
Chichi.
forget
I remember
Chichi?
I remember Chichi.
I raised up with
Lorden.
him.
How could we forget Chichi?
I raised up with him, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you remember Lorden?
Lorden, who was Lorden again?
Lorden shoot a fella, the other football
Oh,
match.
Lorden Pascal.
Lorden
Yeah.
Pascal.
No, Lorden was not a character.
He wasn't a character.
Lorden was a character. I won't agree with you. Never.
Yeah, but
Lorden, no.
Chichi was a character.
Frankenstein. You remember Frankenstein?
Oh yes, they gave him a
Frankenstein
beating,
again.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, give him a beating in the garden. He's never came back again.
Yeah.
I can't remember Mr.
You can remember Frankenstein in Gardens?
Boy.
But you call his name Leon. You call his real name Leon.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. We had characters.
Yeah. Frankenstein wasn't easy,
He
man.
wasn't easy, man.
He and another partner. Well, he and a fellow, I don't call it. I'm not
Don't call
calling
his
it.
name.
Used to go in the, go
I call his
go-
name Leon.
Yes, you
Yeah,
call his
yeah,
name.
but we're not gonna tell
We're
you.
not going to call his name again. We would come by the river. Those days, you see how the apartments have been built? The apartment that Eugene Charles built?
Oh, we won't call
That were on the power.
doubling.
I tell you.
No, but everybody.
Dublin used to be Swansea because Swansea is a place now. They have all the joie. Got Mr. Guy, all them guys that was by Judas across the river.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a Ludo vibe.
Yeah, he was by you, man.
Yeah, that was a Ludo vibe.
Yeah, Dublin was by
By
you.
Judas, it was
Mr.
Ludo.
Mr.
He was
By
a
Swansea, it was Domino's.
So there was a big tree. There was a big tree by the riverside on the power. And he
Okay.
says to make it his business
Yeah.
to just spy. Spy.
I remember the big tree.
And when he spy, you know, he would do something else.
Okay. Well, they had characters.
Boy.
Let me tell you.
Roseau was full.
And
They don't have
women-
that again, man.
Women make sure that they
I
go
remember
there,
Frankenstein
they go there with
now
their
when you said
boyfriend,
the power.
they
I
go there with their
remember
boyfriend, or they
Frankenstein.
go there with their boy.
But
boy child.
a fella went to the gardens with her boy. A woman went there with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And when Frankenstein appeared, he left the woman and run me.
I remember Frankenstein. But Dublin, I know Dublin. Good.
Don't mention him.
No mention it, please. Old police, you know, old police.
Old police, yes.
Who go around ringing the bell, especially when people die.
And what
Old
about
police will do, "Ding, ding,
what
ding,
about
ding."
Santopi?
Oh, Santopi.
He rang the bell for the Labour Party.
Yeah.
Sambuti, I remember Santopi.
Yeah, he would ring the bell for the
Yeah.
meetings.
Boy, Roseau had a lot of
Oh
those
man,
characters,
just name that.
Yeah.
And
Lot-
characters were there. We grew up in a time of rich characters.
Yes, rich, real rich characters, and now we are not seeing any.
Well,
You know?
we cannot see them again.
Both men and women.
Men, right?
And a lot of women characters.
Yeah.
You see, they drink their rum, especially Diana Wom.
And they come to Lagon, selling their fish,
And those days was Lapset days would be drinking.
upset and nanny.
And Nanny. You know.
That was the drink, you know.
And when you see those guys go by my Hamlet in Lago, or by Boy in Lago,
Right.
by Boy Z in Lago,
Boise, man.
yeah, by Boy Z. There's another
They say,
shop.
can I say something?
Yes.
They say
Too
Boise was a Lugahu. I don't know.
Boys was a lookout.
That's what they say.
Boys
But-
was a lookout.
Eh?
Boys was a lookout.
He was a Lugahu?
We don't know what.
But when I
happened.
grew up, I know that they have to have Laja Bless. They used to have Lugahu. They used to have Sukuya. Right? Because I met a guy in St. Martin a couple of years ago, and he was a guy like in his 80s. And he told me one time he went to Dominica as a little boy, and when he reached the Roseau port there, he saw this young, beautiful late woman. I say he can never forget that. And then he went to the woman, and they had a little link, and he went. When the guy redirects himself, he find himself lost, you know. A guy tell him, boy, you not if he asks where he's from, if Roseau, he say, no, you're far from you're right Portsmouth. The man say when he get up, when he just feel himself light, and he find himself in a complete different place,
Yes.
far from the area.
Yes, yeah. No, Bombix, let us go through your musical journey. You're giving us that story, and that's very interesting.
Your Avril was one of the best guitarists. I
Yeah,
ever
Avril,
met.
Avril and Thomas.
Yes. So give us.
They were living in Pifto Street, and you know, I just get it twisted, you know, in music. But I grew up in a family of music. We had piano at our home and them kind of thing. But you know, it never occurred to me. But at that age, Avril had a harmonica, like a piano thing, and he tell me, go sell it, give him $20 for it. So I give him $20 for the harmonica, and I brought it home, and my aunt makes so much noise that you buying for $20 from Avril, you know, and make a whole scene of that, you know. But I let it die, you know, I had the harmonica there and everything. And then I bought a guitar from a fella they call him Roy Stan. He used to be a weightlifter, a karate man. Roy Stan in Great Marlborough Street. It's Great Marlborough Hillsborough Street. Right? For $10. And I had the guitar. And I used to go by Avril and he showed me a lot of technique on the guitar. And that's how I really started. Avril teach me like from the scratch, the guitar player.
And so you start with guitar. You start playing with guitar. That's where you started with guitar.
Yeah, guitar.
And
I start guitar. As a guitar player. Then, but working in the just starting to work as a youth. I used to. There were some guys in Salisbury, Jerry's. They had a band of a guy Hyson. He was in St. Thomas, and he brought along some instruments. And then I get introduced to the band as a bass player. And then a fella from St. Joseph he called Christian, because I was living in Pottersville and they had a band in Salisbury. He had a cot in a car, and he used to come and collect me every time, and he was going to practice. And they had another guy they called Fixture Scotland. He used to work in the bulletin office. He's deceased now. He used to sing, "Neighbor, oh, have you seen my Connie? Neighbor, oh, I am very, very funny. Neighbor, oh, I put my Connie to sleep since after that." We used to sing that song from Sorrow, and we used to play all about Saint-Sauveur everywhere, man. We used to play Salisbury in Bruno's Hall. We used to play St. Joseph. We used to play, I play bass. They had another fella they call him Everton. He's still a Cassie. He played guitar. These are the same guys that formed the band in Guadeloupe, Mammoth. He used to play guitar, rhythm guitar. I used to play bass. And Christian used to play drums. And Baba, he from Salisbury, used to play guitar. So then we had that band and we were swinging, man. We had good instruments, Then later after that, Softy Harmonies. They band Softies.
So you left Jerry's?
Yeah, I left Jerry's. After a while, because Softies was in Tongue.
How long stayed with Jerry's?
Eh?
How long stayed with Jerry's?
I stayed Jerry's around 3 years, man. Little boy growing up, 3 years. 2.5 years. Yeah. Like part time, I always, I was into that.
Go into the mic. Go into the mic, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then Softy brought some instruments down.
Softy brought some instruments from England. But before I was in the band with these other guys, he had other guys, professionals playing with him, like Avril Henderson and Pembo. They had that band already playing, and some of them, it don't last. But then eventually Purcell Christian took over the band, and he was the leader, and he was the bass player. And then they had Albert Darrow. If you remember, Albert Darrow used to sell CDs and them kind of thing. He's deceased now. Albert used to play organ. And they have another fella they call Boucher. He's deceased. He's played drums. And another fella they call Cleveland. He living in Canada. He used to sing. He used to work at Fort Young Hotel. And another guy they call him Eustache Emmanuel. He's here now. He used to play saxophone. And then Peter Sandy. Peter Sandy play guitar, but Peter Sandy is the one who brought me into the band. He brought me as a rhythm guitarist, and he was the lead guitarist. But then when we reached the band now, during rehearsal, we were playing songs like Carlos Santana Samba Party. Down, 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 down. And Peter Sandy couldn't pick the song. So Handel say, and Purcell say, let Joseph play the song, let Joseph play the lead song, man. So Peter Sandy get vexed, and he left the band. And then that was the band, Softy Harmonies. And then we had the Roving Tent.
So hold on, how long did you stay with that band?
Around 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, and because that band was in Tongue, so I'd lived Jerry's.
So where did you all room? Where did you all play?
We had the Roving Tent, organized by Spencer. The Roving Tent, Spencer, and then we had Bona Oi Loka band coming down. Let we go and join the love way. Pan beat it, pan. I'll pick that. Down, because them time you had to pick.
So all who made that song then?
Yeah, with Spencer.
No, Spencer who made that song?
Yeah, Spencer made that song. He was part of the 10. Yeah, and that was a road match, yeah.
Let we go and join
the love way, pan beat it in. That was Softies, man. That was our band, the Roving Tent, man.
Wow. Wow.
And then we had
You picked the song.
but it's picking. The picking was the thing. So I get into the picking thing, man, because I used to listen to a fella they call him Henry and the Saints, man, from the Friggin' Busters. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. From Point Michel, I used to like Mr. because I really had that thing with them, and that style. And I used to be picking the song in the band. That was my main thing, picking. And then there's a fella from Point Michel they call Beggy. Hey, le hooray, binom kabaton pour femme jodi. Oh, hele hooray. Exile won't take
No,
that
no, no,
song.
stop. Sing the song for us, please. People want to hear that.
Hele hooray. Binom kabaton pour femme jodi. Oh, hele hooray. Binom kabaton pour femme jodi. Apart from Point Michel. From Soufriere, by the Beggy, man. Tall guy. I met him in Antigua a couple of years, but he passed away, Domka back and the roving tent, boy. We planned the road for carnival. And around the area, join us. We come with his sacks, join on the road in the truck. And we jamming on the road, them songs, boy. Mona, oi, look a band coming down. Road back in Roseau, that carnival, early morning, Juve. When the road in the truck with soft instruments.
Let's hear what someone is on the line. Let's hear what the person has to say. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I didn't hear Dora Gel Peabody mentioned.
Your grandmother is suspect.
Your grandmother.
That is your grandmother. I know who's that. Your grandmother. Your grandmother.
I didn't hear Iris
Kapula, your
Your
grandmother.
grandmother too, you call.
And you know your tiger woman. That is your grandmother.
We call that too.
No, Viola is his grandmother. Viola Van Great Marlborough
My
Street.
grandmother was Diana Ward.
Sonny, I know it's
And
you.
then you had a band like Diablo 2.
Yes.
Diablo 2.
I
Yes.
rest my case.
Boy, Sonny called to say that, boy.
My son, you call
So
me.
Diana Van Bobo I thought it was Diana. I thought she was his grandmother. Yes, I know Diana Worm was his granny. Because they used to always come there, Medina, they have a sister in Guadeloupe, all of this to be coming there all the time. So I know. So he's right.
Right.
You check. He's right.
Wow.
You know?
Better call to say that.
Thank you, Sonny.
Yeah, so the roving tent.
Sonny Bellot. Yeah.
The roving tent,
Yes.
man.
So tell us about the roving tent.
Yeah, so with that band, we had Softy Harmonies. We had, but we were changing drummer because we had another drummer they called Bobby's with deceased now. He's Carl Shillingford, and then we brought Cobo to play drums. Calvin Richards on the drums, and Purcell, he was working at the Princery. He was working in Princery behind by the cemetery there, right?
Yeah.
Back. So we used to get every Christmas time. We used to, like now, so we used to play for the Princery Festival. Princery, we get in a lot of gigs, the Softy Harmonies, and that and the band went on for a while, and then they used to have another band who want to give us competition to the Vibrators on the next side by Polydor with Julian Gibson, them kind of fellas, Julian Gibson and what the other guy name again?
Luis Lestrade played
Joey Julian is the
Right.
bass, but it was a different thing. We had a different vibes, and then I got into Liquid Ice now after that. Liquid Ice, Davidson Riviere, the bass man. They used to have Gifford Walsh and
Davidson
guitar.
who worked at Domlek?
Eh?
Davidson who worked at Domlek?
I think he used to work by the port.
Okay, at the port.
Yeah.
Davidson Riviere, man.
Yeah.
Rainbow, I know him.
All right.
Actually, they had that band already. They had the band already with some guys in Goodwill, Fedel, and they started the Marcus and all them things. But then, after, they had Tony on a different trend now. Then they checked me to play guitar.
Who was the leader?
Gifford
Tony
Walsh.
Valmore.
Tony Valmore. Play guitar in the band.
What band is that?
Liquid Ice.
Liquid Ice.
Liquid Ice.
I joined Liquid Ice. And they used to play like trade winds. There was no organ. Guitar, trade winds, rhythm guitar, lead guitar, bass, Tony Valmore singing, and
You remember any of the songs?
we used to play Got a letter from Miago. The part of a repertoire. I remember we used to sing songs like Otis Redding, like Chris, I've been loving you so long. Sam Stone came home. Life and Family. We used to practice under Perry in Folkole there. Perry Seraphine. downstairs.
Oh, yes.
We used to
Seraphim's
practice
Valley.
there,
In
right?
Franklin, yeah.
And then we wanted a keyboard player. I used to Michael Joseph.
You're talking about Mickey in Bavistate? Mikey in Bavistate?
No, Mikey Joseph, na Sylvester's son.
Oh, Mikey. Oh, he used to play for Liquid Eyes, yes.
Yeah, I brought him in
yeah.
Liquid Eyes, you know.
Okay.
Because
He used to play keyboards.
yeah, I brought him in Liquid Eyes because we went school together, Goodwill School, and then his father used to live by the St. Alphonsus Church, right in front there. That big house there, they used to live. And then we got a honor. I used to go by him and show him the songs. Right? Show him the songs. But within that time, in Softies, and I left Algeria, I used to take piano lessons by Handel, by the apartment in Handel Christian, that's Purcell's brother, a saxophone player. He used to have piano classes that is on the apartment buildings where Marcel Kukshan used to live there across the river. Upstairs, Roslyn, Scotland, the
Right.
Scotlands. Upstairs, Handel used to live there. And he had a piano class. And I used to go there and take piano lessons by Handel. Seriously. And there was a fella who used to come there to play piano very good, but I think he passed away. A tall guy. He used to be a teacher too, But he used to come there and take lessons. I used to take that trainer lessons from scratch, learning various. I stayed there for 2 years. Within that time, I went in the bands and thing on the side. So when I brought Mikey now, we got a Horner key, we got a Horner piano. They put a Horner piano. And I used to go by Mikey because Mikey had a piano. They had a piano at his home. And I used to show him the songs. And then when he got a Horner piano, he came into the band. And when he came into the band, we had James Mears play drums in Liquid Eyes. And we were playing everywhere. We were playing Thibaut, we were playing Vickers, we were playing Petit Savannah, we were playing everywhere. We were a regular top class band. And then they had two tents. They had the Boys and Them tent, and then the Liquid Eyes tent in the Caribs, in the Arawak Cinema, 1974. And they had Pembo on organ. That the Boys and Them had Pembo was a guitar player, I remember, in Boys and Them, and Gustav Larocque, but they had made some changes. Pembo started playing keyboard, right? And Garnet Lestrade was playing guitar, and Gustav Larocque on the bass. And then they had Solo. The mighty Solo was the singer in the band, and he was also part of the Calypso competition at the time. So they had two tents, two different bands, and we had Keter on our band. Bayo bois, da baby da ba da da di, bayo bois, ba ba bi di bi ba ba di. That was Liquid Eyes accompanying there, They still have that tape somewhere around there. Anytime you have the picking. Anytime you hear the picking, it's I doing the picking on that, Down da 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 da, bayo bois, da 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 da, bayo bois. Way back. Keter still tell me that, And we had that. And then we had a name, and then the guys and them, they realized, well, watch now, Exile 1, they had Milestones from
Winkle was in that band? Winkle for...
Winkle wasn't in that band.
He
Winkle wasn't
band.
that there.
Right.
I come into Winkle. Yeah. Winkle wasn't in that. Then they had Milestone from Portsmouth. They were the first band in Guadeloupe, They was in Basse. And Gordon Henderson was singing for a band in the Vikings. Saute, 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 saute pour carnaval. I remember that good. Saute, he was singing for a band in Guadeloupe, the Vikings. Then he came and he formed Exile 1. Took a couple of musicians he had to take Rocket and blah blah from Dominica, Julie Morella, Vivian, my cousin. He took Vivian and he went, although my aunt told him, boy, because Vivian was working in the post office. Because my father was the postmaster at the time, and in them time, everybody looking for their family. That's how Dominica was. So Vivian was working in the post office. And Vivian never lived in the post office and gone play music with Gordon. and Julie Morrill, and they formed and Fitzroy and Kremlin.
That guy had gone too, Brian Rock.
Brian Rock had gone, but he was kind of young.
You're 16 years.
Yeah.
You're 16 years.
Yeah, Brian Rock. Rocket, that's what I tell you.
And his
right.
mother went and looked for him.
Yeah,
Brian said that he went on a little pee-pee.
Yeah. Brian Rock was a very, at the time, and he was in Guadeloupe. And then followed by Gramax now. They were very lucky. Ferrara bought some new instruments for them.
But before we go to Gramax, so people like Fitzroy Williams was already playing for
Boys and Them. He was playing for Gaylords.
And then Gaylords.
Yeah.
He played Gaylords and then Boys and Them.
Yeah. Playing for Boys and Them as an organist.
Yes.
Hit Me With Music. That's his song, and they were playing Boys and Them.
Yes.
I remember him going and watch, and he seen playing with Boys and Them. But then he went with Gramax. He went with Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon chose them because Gordon self used to play music in Security Pearls, Miss Pringle band. They had that band, Gordon used to play organ for them, in the band. I really used to play guitar, and they had Randy Aaron used to play drums, right? They had that band already, Miss Pringle band, Security Pearls. So Gordon was already in that music. Right, but he went Guadeloupe and he was in Viking, but he formed his own band and he knew a couple of Roseau guys and they went and they had the band in Guadeloupe.
But you said before Exile One reached Guadeloupe, you're saying who was in Guadeloupe before?
Milestone from Portsmouth, man.
Right.
Lawrence Brothers, with Ozzy Hector and Potty and them fellas and Macho Lawrence, Alvin Lawrence, Stowe. He says he died young. He used to play drums. They had that band in Guadeloupe. Baste, okay, and Gordon was in Guadeloupe, but he used to sing with Vikings. Yeah, but before he was in Dominica, playing in a band like everybody in time of Avril, their age group, the same age group, and then Liquid when Gramax now, the guy brought some the guy got some instruments for them. They had a song. A kind of instrumental song, but the guy bought some instruments because there was our competition in Dominica, but they had better instruments than us, but it wasn't better than Liquid Ice. We played in St. Mary's. Oh, yeah, Jeff Joe used to sing in the band.
So Jeff Joe used to play with Liquid Ice then?
Yeah?
You saying Jeff Joe used to play with Liquid Ice?
No. That we always used to compete, Liquid Ice and Gramax.
And
When it was in Dominica before they left, right? And then they move on because they had better instruments. This Ferrara guy bought Ampeg bass, lead guitar, Fender twin reverb, a whole set of instruments to those guys. So there was always that, they had that vibes. So they went to Guadeloupe and they were more organized. They had their contacts in Guadeloupe and everything. And then Tony made his contacts and they went to Guadeloupe. And when we went to Guadeloupe, I went to Guadeloupe with them. When we went to Guadeloupe, we went by a guy they call Dowoka, a guy that making coffers and so. And his son was in charge of the band and put us to live in a nice vibes. But we just playing and no money come. But I remember I never lived it because them fellas left their jobs because Tony never wasn't working, but Davidson was working and Mikey Joseph was working in the health department and I was working in agriculture. So they left their jobs and they went. But I didn't leave my job. I decided I do live in it because I take leave without pay and I went down and I went in a place they call Pettiboo to play. And we was in the house there. Gifford was there too. Gifford was with us.
Gifford Walsh?
Gifford Walsh. But Gifford was more interested in his sports. He didn't want to stay. He would always tell him that he just there but he not interested. But then we were playing, but we are getting no money. I never see no money in that thing. But we playing, and then the guy died in an accident. The fella's son that was in charge of the band, he died in an accident. So we had to move off from Pettiboo, and we went to a place they call St. Felix, in a liquor house where we were living. And then we were practicing in that liquor house, and we got the opportunity through Tony. Tony's a guy he always liked to push. He got the opportunity to record by Deb's studio, and we went into Deb's. And that's where we made Annie, the songs we were working out together, me and Tony, because he comes when we were working out on the guitar, and we did that, and we made a few songs, Good Looking, Bamoyati Glue Coco, and blah, 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 and them. and then no money not coming in, and they just there in the house, and you know, it was a kind of hard life I find in, you know. I said, well, I go back to Dominica, man. So Gifford and myself went back to Dominica. When I reached in Dominica, I end up in Naked Feet. Randy come and tell me, man, Naked Feet. So I left Liquid Ice, and after we did the recording, and I went with Naked Feet.
So what are the songs you remember that you all did?
Ani bamwe bagaila, ani no take no. And the other song was Tout ça voulait pour moi. 45s, that 45s. And the other song was Hey Good Looking, Reed, Sylvester Reed, the conga man, the Iron Man used to sing like a reggae song. Yeah, these are the songs we made. 245s, right? Just a spot, you know, for and we was getting gigs. And Grabbox was getting all the gigs because they were organized. They were playing all over the place. Cocotte everywhere, Grabbox. They was even more popular than Exile One to me at the time, you know. They was getting a lot of gigs and things. And then when I came back to Dominica, I went back to work and then ended up with Naked Feet. And then we went Naked Feet, oh man, we were playing everywhere. Glenn John was the singer. We played all over. And we went to Matic to do another record. That was a Roy song. Jabla trade veyo, Jabla chebeyo, Jabla chebeyo, papada. We had the guy from St. Vincent playing
Jabla kabawe yo.
Yo, yeah, papada. Recorded at the Matic. Papada. Roy keyboard and keyboards and play guitar, play lead guitar. Kelly play rhythm guitar because actually they had Tim Jura playing the guitar, but then they do away with him. Randy say I is the lead guitarist, you know. Then I the band and we were playing all over the place, accompanying the Calypsonians too. There fella Zay, you come and sing a calypso. So a hammer, blah da da, be da da,
a donkey thing.
Da da,
a donkey thing.
Da.
There's a woman from Newton, if she's listening, she's in the States. She better call us now. And I want her to sing that one, but she knows that by heart. That one of
Zay.
Zay, man.
Yeah.
Right in the bad house, in the high street, downstairs. Yeah, because Randy is like me a lot because since softies, you know. Da-dee-da.
He won the Kong, you know, I think, with that.
Yes, he won the
Da-da-da.
And I make road match, you know.
That road, man, that's a hot song.
Hot song, man.
A donkey feet. That big voice.
Hey, and they have a heavy voice.
Big
We
voice.
still partners. You live in St. Martin. My real partner.
All
Do
right.
da. But Tokyo now like me a lot. Tokyo, he had recorded with Ed Watson Brass. And Tokyo say he want me to play all the songs. So Tokyo decided, he say, and he and Shot Shit was best of friends. So he say, boy, Julian, why I go bring in Shot Shit band. So Shot Shit, he transfer me to Shot Shit band. Tell Shot Shit you have a good guitarist and he want me to come and play. So I went down Antigua. Because Patty and them, they had the band, but there's a lot of different things going on at the time, you know, and the music thing working. So I say, well, that is it, man. I went down to the Shot Shit in the band. Now, the guitarist, the keyboard player in the Shot Shit band, Winfield, he got his green card, so he had to go to the States and live. So the leader of the band, Jagger Martin, say, Julian, play the organ, man, because I don't know I was full around the organ. So I sit on the keyboard. Jamming, yeah, is music we want to know, we keep jamming, so yeah, the chorus. And it was a completely different experience for me. in the musical field. Completely different experience. I learned a lot while I was in Antigua because those guys used to take the music real seriously. And we used to play halcyon churches every Sunday and all Friday night. And Antigua had a lot of music going on all over. There are a lot of hotels. Musicians used to play music professional in Antigua, That is what they do for a living because there's a lot of work in the hotels and pubs and everything. It's still happening in Antigua, that kind of vibes. They still have that. They have the drive-in theater. They have. When I was there, I think James Brown even came to Antigua and play one of them days there, one of the times. So we playing all about. So that was a kind of experience for me in Antigua, right? Yeah. But there's a thing. Before, that was after. Whilst I was in Naked Feet, Bill Thomas, he was making a band. I met him in St. Joseph, and he heard me playing Liquid Ice, right? And we became friends. He met me he was in St. Joseph with those other guys, and he said he's going to make a band and blah, blah. But it really materialized, and he decided, what happened? Cut off, man.
No, you're on.
I can talk?
Yes.
So Bill Thomas decided, well, what's going to happen now, man? Julian going to play lead guitar and he's going to build a band and thing. So here is it now. The guys in Naked Feet, like Linford John, that is brother to Glenn John, used to be around the band, and Bird, well, actually, Freddie, I was telling Fred about the band, and I tell Freddie, well, look, now, we're gonna do a thing, and because I know him playing in vibrators, I heard him play, and then I went by him where he used to live.
That's Freddie Nicholas.
Fred Nicholas.
Yeah.
I went by him where he used to live. He was married to Karen White. I went by him where he used to live, and I say, Fred, boy, look upon him and going on from a band. We're gonna. His wife tell him, nah, man, we ain't going nowhere. But eventually he decided to come, And then we decided to go to Guadeloupe. Fred Nicholas, Linford John, Andrew Belloni Bird, who used to live in Portsmouth, and Rogers came along, He played congas. He just fitting himself. That's what he always normally do, fitting around, But he came in the band, and then we have 5 guys, yeah. And then we went to Guadeloupe, and when we went, Bill met us, and he met us in the airport, and he introduced us to the guys that sponsor him the instrument, sponsor him the band, and that the guy that going to sponsor the instruments. He introduced us, and they got a place first in a place they call Saint François, in a house. That house, we living in that house 4-5 months. No instruments don't come in. So we there in that 5 months in that house for 3-4-5 months, no instruments, and we live in kind of hardish, It was different from the Liquid Ice vibes. But anyway, I in that, and I decide, well, let me take it. Then one of them days instruments really come. Rogers drum set, bass guitar, Fender Precision bass, Rhodes bass amp, good stuff. And we fit in and we playing all around in Saint François. And it's like, me, individual, I finding that not the vibes, I wasted my time. I was spending all them time there, and then we thinking around, and So some guys used to come and check me out, like Brian Shillingford and some of my partners.
That is
Bobby,
Rats. That's Rats.
Rats used to come. Brian Shillingford and Bobby. Bobby. That's Bobby. That's the drummer Boro's brother from Gramax. Used to come and check me out. And they say, boy, Julian, we in a band smoke, and Nico, we have smoke there, boy, with Matnik, and we go in Matnik, and there we go, man. Because I look into jam, and I look into make funds, because that time I actually left the job, and I left that job in Dominica, so I have nothing coming back to Dominica for. I moving forward. So here is it. We went to Martinique. Cadas do say music. Cadas do sabel.
What is the band name?
Smoke, man.
Smoke. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Papa de bi da. Bi da 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 da. There was a fella they call him Alex. Mr. Passy, he died in Cayenne a couple of years ago. He's from Cork Street, a red-skinned guy. Now they have another guy, Bobby on bass, Brian Shillingford on keyboards, I on guitar. And they have some Trinidadian fellas playing horns, like a guy named Steve Jims and some other guys. And the leader of the band, a Frenchman, Remy Monday, playing trumpet. And with Matt Nick, that before you make it pay, you're getting paid and things, different vibes. But eventually the band had to come back down to Guadeloupe, and we came back to Dominica, Cameron Rats and Bobby and myself. And then we looking to get back, but unfortunately we didn't get back, so I move on. I decide, well, look now it's time for me to settle myself, you know. I move on to Antigua for Tokyo. That is where I went in ghetto vibes after that. And get a little experience in ghetto vibes with them Antiguan guys. And then move on again to St. Martin, where everything happening.
Tell us a little bit more of the Antigua vibes. I mean, you started giving us some vibes of the Antigua vibes.
I didn't hear you.
I said you were giving us some vibes of Antigua. Give us some much more.
Yeah. So the guy, when I was at Antigua now, the keyboard player got his green card, so he had to leave the band. So the Jagger Martin was the leader of the band. Say, Julian, play the organ. They had a nice Fafisa organ for Leslie. And then a Monstratian fella, Arnold Tuitt, playing guitar. They had an Antiguan guy, Mongo, he played drums. Jagger Martin played bass. There are two Vincentian guys, three Vincentian guys. Richie plays saxophone. He's deceased. And there's another guy they call Leroy Glasgow from St. Vincent. He played trumpet. And the other guy from St. Vincent played trumpet. So two trumpet players, one saxophone, one bass guitar, one keyboard, one lead guitar, and a drummer. And Shotchet put us to live, we rented a house and we were living there. And we were doing a lot of gigs. We were pushing his songs like jamming, whoa, gently on my mind. Nice vibes in Antigua, man. Complete different vibes. It working, you know. And everything going down fine and good, you know. But as time go by, you know, the guys and them decide they want to move further, you know. So I moved to St. Martin. When I moved to St. Martin, more gigs again, man. All over the place, all in them hotels, you know. Fully in them hotels, man. Everything going on nice, man. You know. Then there was Hurricane David in Dominica. And I decided after Hurricane David, let me come down and see what's going on in Dominica. When I come back to Dominica, my home and thing where I live in, the roof come out and all kind of thing. So whilst I in Dominica, I end up in Swinging Stars. The man that bring me in Swinging Stars was the mighty Dice, you know. Not that young Dice, you know, the older Dice. And he have a kind of high voice like the Baron. Dee-dee-dee-da. Da-da-dee-dee-da-da-da-dee-da. He say, I want boy to play guitar for me, man, in the band. You know. So when he bring me in the band now, Calypso, I meet Roy Shillingford in the band from the former Naked Fit. So we want to know one another. I meet Rats in the band, Brian Shillingford from the former Smoke. I meet Stumpy from the former, I forgot Stumpy. Stumpy was a former member of Naked Fit too. He was in Naked Fit as a trombone player. I met him in the band. And I meet Marcel Cookchan, I meet Harry Etienne, I meet a fella Curtis, play drums, Norman Later, Bing Kazimi, and Benji, former trumpeter of Gramax. He was in the band too. And then we after Calypso, accompanying Calypso, we accompanied Arrow, Nick Arab Cinema. Then we had a group come from Trinidad to accompany those guys from Trinidad, Squeeby. I want a man who could jam and I tell you who is the man and them is the man. You know what I mean? But actually, I never practice, you know. I just fit in. From my experience I had played with the different bands, I just fit in the Swinging Stars. That's what it was. And Brian Shillingford and myself, we knew ourselves already, and Roy Shillingford, so we had that rhythm between us, right? So we had everything going. We went to St. Martin, the Swinging Stars. We played the GI Brass, we played all the other bands. And we got the trophy. Swinging Stars got the trophy when we went down to St. Martin. It was the 21st anniversary. All where we played, we were the number one band. And when we came back, we went to Canada, the number one band in Canada. We accompanied Lord Nelson, we accompanied Mighty Sparrow, a lot of different artists at the time in Canada. Some guys, they wanted to stay, but I didn't want to stay. I say, well, I want to know New York, because after that we went down to New York. Went down to New York and play all over the place. That's why I met Timmy Sims. That's why I stayed by him. They put me to stay by him. Simsy. That's why I met Sims in the Bronx when I went there in 1980. It was a different thing. And I was with Swinging Stars, and then some of them guys, they decide they're moving out. They're not coming back to Dominica. I decide I have a youth in Dominica.
You want to tell us some of the names?
Huh?
It would be nice to tell us some of the names who stayed.
Who that?
It would be nice to tell us some of the names that stayed.
If I'd stayed?
I said it would be nice to tell us who stayed in America.
Yeah, Brian Shillingford stayed.
That's
Benji stayed. Annie Joseph stayed, a girl that used to do backup vocals. That's Mikey Joseph's sister.
Yeah.
She used to sing.
That
She
girl
stay up
sing,
there.
she's so sweet, man.
Yeah. They stay up there. They never come back. Benji stayed. Brian Shillingford stayed. And yeah. I came back home because my son was just born. I come back to Dominica. And then when I come back to Dominica, after I stayed with my son for a while, I decided, well, but you know what? I don't want to go back into that thing again, man. That the same kind, because most of Brian wasn't around in the band, and it was a different complex. The band to me, it was to me when I was in the band, it was like a zenith kind of thing. It was kind of like a climax. But then after changing, when it come back down, they have other guys in the band that do have that kind of, how I'd say it now.
Chemistry.
Yeah, no, musically, they don't have that musically vibes, man. You check, because always changing members. I decide, boy, going back into the working scene. I went back St. Martin, man. Back into the music scene, playing in hotels, gigs and everything. All over the place, playing in Martin, get myself organized. Then there was another band, Kenny and the Statics, from St. Martin. The guy was from Aruba, Dutch guys from Aruba, Curacao. Ended up in that band. We went Europe, we went Italy, we went West Germany, we went Austria. Went all over the place, Austria, came back. And that's where the money was making in St. Martin. And that's where I took it from there and developed myself into that vibes, Then I end up on the cruise ship. The cruise ship. I went on the cruise ship with the Trinidadian guy. No, sorry. I went on the cruise ship with Dominican Vinci, Dominican fella Totola. I ended up Carnival Ecstasy. We went to Totola. That's where we had the band Virgin Gorda. Yeah, there was a Trinidadian guitar player. I on the keyboard, another Vinci drummer, and a bassman from Dominica, 4-piece. The name of the band was Ecstasy. And we went there, and we went Cozumel, we went Mexico, we went all over the place. Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Bahamas. I stayed there for 6 months with the band. And then I get another contract again with another band. With some St. Lucian guys, Celebrity Cruises. Went Bermuda. We went, Bermuda, 170 cruise. Bermuda, back to New Jersey, Bermuda. Then I went on another cruise ship again. I was in the cruise ship thing all the time, and so I just developed that, buy my own instruments, and I decided, you know what, let me just deal with my thing now. I set up my thing, you check, so I can just live that kind of way, travel, went to Canada, couple go back to Canada, I went to America, played church, gigs all over the place, you know what I mean? So this is what it is, in terms of, and I decide, but I used to work too, in between. I used to work, but I realized, you know what? Let me just delay the music right through. That working thing, I can't, doing work, different work, that get me sick. After a while, you can't maintain. So I just decide I dealing with that music thing right through. So this is it. Yeah. With experience,
No, you're back home now. You know, involved in playing for the tourists.
Well, couple times I home and I play with Discover Dominica a lot of times. They're down by the bay down there. And then I was in Trinidad. I go to Trinidad. I have friends in Trinidad. I live a lot of Trinidad. The Dashing Festival in Tobago, I played in St. Lucia. I went to St. Lucia playing the jazz festival in St. Lucia. Some St. Lucian guys. I went to St. Kitts Music Festival. St. Kitts Music Festival. I used to live in St. Kitts. I have a daughter in St. Kitts. I used to play with Elimat and the GI Brass when I was in St. Kitts. As a matter of fact, it's Elimat who linked me up to those guys in Virgin Gorda, Ecstasy. The band when I went on the cruise ship. Who got me into the cruise ship thing, Elimat, right? And in St. Kitts now, it's like Antigua vibes. The hotel gigs are always there. So the few guys that are there, they're doing music. I met a guy, Toucan band. There was a band. We go to Nevis 4 Seasons to play, So there's always work in the hotels that can keep you. So they find very few musicians that are there. They always have work in St. Kitts, you know what I mean? So my youth in St. Kitts. So I've been there for a little while, Yeah, I've been in St. Kitts for a little while, spending time with my kids and thing. And then at the same time, the music is part of it,
While you decided that you're going to be involved in music, did any family member of yours discourage you from music? Tell you about what you're going to do.
Man,
while you're in your work, what you going to do music?
My aunt and them, when I grew up, my aunt and them didn't want me to be in that, They wanted me to just work, have a job, and reach a certain age, and then retire. They wanted to, that was their mainstream. Like that's what it was. You check, and then I had to maintain. If I live in a house with them and I can't maintain, then I can't be around. Maybe that's what it is. But at the same time now, everybody getting old together, and they end up dying, because nobody don't know how long they're gonna live. Some people believe they're gonna live to 100 years. Some people believe, and that's what's happening now, because you feel you're gonna you're gonna live 80 years, and you work all your life. Look, my partner then, Michael Thomas, we used to work together in the gardens. Look, he was dead the other day. Another fella, a lot of them guys who I used to work with, they're not anymore. They're not there around, So it still come back then. Your health is your wealth, And I just find the music is my wealth and it's my health, because with the music now, I can maintain, I can maintain in the music, because I've been in that for so long, and it's not like playing in Swinging Stars and you have to play that, you have to play this, you have to play that, You put all the repertoires together. I've been to England and played in the church. New York, I played in the church for a while, So all that. When I went to England, Gis was the man that set me up, the bassman for Gaylords. He is the man who brought me to all the different things. Come and get me, bring me, hook me up in a church and get paid. You know what I mean? So whilst I there, for the length of time I there, I doing something and I getting paid so I can buy what I want and still save money, you know. So that's what it has been, you know. So the music to me now is that's what I want. That's what I always wanted to do, you know. Because music is something you cannot have another job and still do it, because it can't work, you know. It's either you do the day job and work, do that, but you know, you can't do both of them together.
Let's see what that person have to say on the telephone. Good evening to you, caller.
Good evening to Mr. Joseph and good evening to Mr. Bryn.
Good evening.
So the guy talking to the guy used to be in St. Martin, no, he used to be in St. Martin.
I used to be in St. Martin, man.
I want to call him, what is his name again? The Bex man, the man like Bex. That was name before Bex, that was name before Bex.
You see what he's saying?
What's his name? Gaga. And you tell them, man, fireman.
Bombix.
You know, fireman, huh? Repeat?
Bombix.
That's it, the man Bombix. Tell them, man, fireman, and make you come river liquor because you want to burn fire and the great man, you don't forget. You know, a fireman, you don't hold back nothing.
Who's that? What you say? What you say? What you say? What you say, B?
I said that. Tell them, man, it's fireman that make you come river liquor because you don't too like the great man.
We're not in that. We're not in that tonight. But
We're not in that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just telling you. Just tell the world that fireman make you come river liquor and you're doing great thing and I love that. You know what I'm saying? You sing great things too, right?
Yes.
So Bombix, boy, keep the fire blazing, boy, fireman listening. No fire.
What ya? But they say Bombix. But they say Bombix. You know, I just wonder, but anyway, that's what it is. Let them do what they want, you know what I mean?
No, Julian. We have seen quite a number of...
Hold on.
I said, we have seen quite a number of young men today involved in music. When you were growing up as a boy in the 70s, did you see quite a lot of musicians, as you know, sing in Dominica today?
What I saying, right? The musicians of today is a playback thing. And you see that playback thing, to me, it's not really working, because the playback thing, everybody want to have tracks. Okay, when Sparrow used to come and play, Sparrow used to come with his orchestra, a bassman, a whole orchestra. Now, a man will just come on a stage with one little thing, one man, and a playback. That can I don't find in that if I have to play music like that, it's best I finish with that, man. You know, it don't make sense. Because through the experience on playing on cruise ships, not only cruise ships, but playing in shows and playing all the lead up to this, to lead up to now, right? When I was in Canada, I had the opportunity to play in an orchestra, you know, with only white people as a bass player.
Please stay in the mic, please.
I had the opportunity of playing in an orchestra. There's a partner of mine, I brought him there when we played one, Kuro Allen, I brought him with me. It's only white people. I was the only black man there. And you had to follow the music sheet. That is what it is. You follow the music sheet or you cannot play in the band. Period. So I had the opportunity to fit it into that scenario. And then they didn't even want me to leave. Because after the field now, the drummer, and I used to work out after what we do, these songs like pa 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 pi ba da ba ba da ba pa ba da ba da ba da pa pa ba da ba da ba da pa pa ba da ba do bo pe da ba do be pa dum 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 to pa ba ba da da ba do. That is what they do. They playing with a band of 30, 40 people, saxophone, all kind of thing. And I'm in the band, and after we work out, many drummer working out. Then we come into a we playing popular thing between two of us. And they like that. You know, so they realized I had that groove, and they didn't want me to go. They didn't want me to go leave the band. You check? So that experience now, it put more emphasis on back the music in a different way. It's not just playing with a backup track. You have a song on a computer and it back up and you're playing, like for instance, you're playing Sugar Boom, and the music going on and you're playing guitar with it. You know what I mean? It's different. Because even on the cruise ships, right, there was a time when they was trying to get rid of live musicians and bring in the DJs. But the guests and them, the tourists and them that come, pay their money, they say they want to see a live drummer, they want to see a bass man, and they want to see a guitar, they want to see people playing live, so that they bring that back. So now, when you're on the cruise ship, they judge you based on your ability as a musician, not on playing tracks or doing that. Because some of the musicians, they cannot play. They have to have something to play with, right? But to make them play a song naturally how it is, okay, that is a different thing. If you compose, you have your own studio and you compose in your own song, that's a complete different thing, you know. But as far as I can see, it has so much composers and so much computers that at the end of the day, they're still not leading up to what was there already before, because music of the 80s and 90s, they still don't reach that stage. Okay, because if you listen, any gene you take, if you take reggae gene, if you take calypso gene, if you take zouk, the musicians of today still cannot reach up to that. They have to copy from what was there already. You know, they don't have the natural ability to do that. What was, so it's still they playing a song, da 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 da, but they have it on the computer. Play it live, let me hear. Natural, because they have the books where you can learn the songs correctly, learn the correct chords, learn to translate mentally, that kind of way. So then there's always going to be work for musicians that is in that gene. You cannot, there's always work for that, because so much musicians on the scene just faking it and playing it for that. Eventually, it's going to come back to you have to learn the song how it is. So that is what the music business is about. The music business is just playing a song and say you're going on YouTube and put that on YouTube, and how much songs you play, you're making money. You have to make money, let the people hear you play and promote you that way that you can move forward. You see, if it's one thing the Jamaican, I'm talking about Caribbean musicians, why you feel a lot of Jamaicans getting a lot of gigs? Because they play live and they have a lot of shows all in Holland, all in Europe, all in Africa, all in Japan. They want to see the band live, not only reggae artists alone, but even jazz artists. They want to see the band play live. So people can come to the shows, live playing shows, not playing back and them kind of thing. You know?
No, I want to find out from you, Julian. What is the music you feel more comfortable playing as a musician?
The music I feel more comfortable playing, I like jazz music. Because what I like jazz music for, it has a lot of elements in it, man. You know, it's a creative kind of music. Because when I was playing in the orchestra, it have a lot of guys that learn classical music and thing, and they good can read, even the flute. They have the flute people and them thing, you know. But the jazz music now, it incorporates everything. To me, if you can play jazz, you can play all styles of music, you know, because it's the accent. Because if you can play jazz, then you can play reggae. You just have to get the reggae accent. Pop, tap, taka, tap. You got calypso is jazz already, you know. When you're accompanying guys like Mike Chuck, that's and them song, it's chords, the kind of chords you're using, the flavor of the chords you're using, you know. So I like jazz music because in jazz music there's always something new to learn, whereas classical music is fixed. You play a Beethoven how it is. If you make a mistake, you know you make a mistake because Beethoven have that, it's set. Or you play a batch, that is it. You have to play it like that so people, everybody
just
know
hold that chord in your mind.
Yeah?
Hold that chord in your mind. Let's go to the telephone. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening. All say good evening to Bob Bix, Mr. Julian. I just want to comment him on tonight's program. I've been listening for a long while. I mean, his last comment is really true about, you asked him about music before and music today. And he drew that disparity about that. I think musicians before really used to play. You know, like he was a musician of before, so he really used to play music and Right now, we have more guys who are more versed with the computer and manipulating the computers and so on and manipulating playback and so. So you find that what I can say is that, in a nutshell, musicians of before that we had in Dominica were more excellent on the instrument than musicians of today. In that today's musicians, yes, we have a few good ones, but most of them are basically following a rhythm, as they say. So that was a very excellent answer by Bombix, And Bombix, that's Jacko, man. We play a few times together.
Okay,
and
Jacko.
Bombix is an excellent musician. That's a guy that I've learned some stuff from, because he's a guy that was on the scene before me, and, we played a couple of times. Not more than one, a couple of times. We played a good number of times together, doing little gigs here, little hotel, little facility gigs and so on. And it was really nice, Bombix have his own style and personality and so forth. But I'm telling you, when it comes to the instrument and his love for music, it's a great thing. And we just need some more people, like him, who really love and appreciate the music and want to execute the music. Because one thing I learned about Bombix is that he wants to be excellent on his instrument, whereas a lot of musicians today want to be excellent in actually programming. So that's the difference, So I just want to wish you all the best, Bombix.
Right.
Welcome back to Dominica again. Yeah, man. Respect.
Thank you, Jacko.
Yeah.
Nice.
But what the programming
compliments
thing?
you.
The programming thing is an easy thing. But the programming thing is like blah 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 talk. You want a drummer who can play. You want a drummer who can syncopate. Like you see, like Alex LaRock. He's a drummer who can syncopate and play a lot of different beats in between. So when you go on stage and play, and you're accompanying any one of them reggae artists, they're looking at how you can syncopate and your style, they're not looking on blah, 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 and that thing. They do that in the studio to get it set up, right? Once they get it, if you listen to Bob Marley and the Wailers, he was one of the first musicians that had his stuff going studio, and most of his songs, he do it in the studio. But when he comes to play live, they syncopate on it, you know what I mean?
But somebody can say that reggae doesn't have so many chords.
You see,
reggae
have a lot of flavor. They have flavor. The chords is one, but the flavor of the music is different. It's based upon the kind of chords you use, right? It's based upon, because if the keyboard playing together and the bass playing together and the guitar playing together and they just play everything flat, you just have a flat thing, right? You just say one thing like on a level, but then if you're playing guitar, then you're playing the flavor chords, which because all the chords leading up together. The music is a series, The chords is 1, 5, 6, 2, whatever it is, right? A 6 becomes a fourth, or fourth becomes an 11th, and 11th. So once you have the flavor, you can hear the difference in the music. You know what I mean?
But the present musician can say almost the same thing. The present musician can say to you that they are in sync. Even if they're using computers,
the present musicians
they'll tell you that they have drummers.
Yeah. No, the present musicians have to.
Hold on. The present musician can say to you that they have drummers who are in sync with that of the lead guitarist or the bass guitarist. They will tell you that they're in sync with the percussionist. So I don't understand.
No,
only what they are getting different is the melody.
No. Let me tell you, the melody of a song. Look, you have a lot of people believe you have 3 elements in music, but you have 4 elements, right? You have tone quality. A lot of them leave that out. Tone quality is the tone. You enhance your tone naturally, not on no computer. You enhance a man can play a box guitar, and the way that he plays the guitar, the way his fingers touch the strings, it brings out a different tone.
I think you don't like the mic, man. Stay.
It brings out the way it brings out a man can have his. Okay, let's talk about guitar. A man can have a box guitar and play a box guitar, and the way he plays, his finger touches the string, it comes out with a different touch, a different feel, right? Okay, now the musicians that when they program to play live is a complete different thing, to play live. Because to play live now, you have to play live is different from a computer, right? In other words, you have to have flavor. If you don't have the flavor in the songs, like if you want to listen to them old time fellas like Elvis Presley, I got a letter from the postman, he put it in his diary. Like the early next morning, he brought my letter back, she wrote upon it. That is an old song, right? But hear that, when you're on the cruise ship, people just ask for that. Okay, a lot of people like that. So you program your thing now, you go in and you can't play this song. Because you don't know nothing about this song. You don't even know how the changes of the song go in. That's why they have a lot of fake books. So you can see the musical part of the song, the different changes of people's song, because that's songs that are already there, right? Now, if you have your computer now, there'll not be enough. When you're going to reach that stage, because if you notice the older musicians like Whitney Houston, they recorded in big time studios, on a different level. Right, but when Tom have that at his home, Tom have that at his home, Tom that so much of them are there. They get it. What you hearing? It's just a jumble up thing, It's just a jumble up thing. You check.
But it is not fair for a musician to train. Let's put it that way, to train, and because you're on a cruise ship or because you are entertaining people, that the crowd ask you for a repertoire. That is not in part of your programming. I don't think it's fair to the musician.
But the program is live. That is what it is.
One of the things that I noticed is about computer generated music that DJs play and feedback. As you said, the feeling or the flavoring.
They don't have that
of the musical instruments. Because you have different styles. Right? And therefore and therefore it's like writing a composition.
Definitely.
Right? That is why even with AI, which is artificial intelligence, there is a need for a level of creativity within the sphere of music.
But in music you can hear it just like anything else.
Because you can hear the difference and the variation in the chords.
But if you listen to Bob, for example, let's take a reggae gene. If you listen to Bob Marley music, even it's 2 chords, 3 chords, you can hear the difference. Because Bob Marley, ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da, but the chords he played is major 6 chords, It's not the straight chords,
Let's go to the telephone quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm calling back again, and I want to support Mr. Joseph on what he's saying. Because I suspect nowadays you don't find many acoustic musician in Dominica like it used to be in the days or when he was young. So you find everything is digitally composed, and you can never imitate what the computer does. And the most time when you create your own tempo, your own beat, you use whatever chord you use. It could be one chord if you want, and you don't know how to play the things, and you are just able and capable of programming your computer to produce the type of musical accompaniment you would require. But I believe what Mr. Joseph is saying makes a lot of sense, and I think we have to educate our young musicians. I think they should go now in teaching people to play music at primary school, then secondary school, and do it not only theoretically, but practically as well.
Theoretically.
Yeah, so that is why I do support what Mr. Joseph is saying, and I suspect if it has to continue like that, pretty soon we won't be having acoustic musicians.
We won't be having that, man.
We won't be having that. That is something, but after all, the programming is going to be monitoring us. What happens, a guy who is involved in that is telling me he purchased a kit, and that kit has different music in it, and from that he has the bass, and he does one thing, like the press is a key, then the AI intelligence function comes in and substitute his talent. He will be unable to produce that in real, in a live session. So I think we have to be looking at that closely. So if somebody, and I have been on tourist trips and I have observed some of these musicians who are there they usually play music of the past.
Definitely.
So when you listen to the roles that you get from Ashton Barrett in the Wailers, or even in the Midnight Groovers or any other group, when you hear the drummer plays the acoustic and it gives you a role, it's like you are eating. You are eating a good food, a good damn thing, a good dash in. But when you have that, all what the computer does is, and after a time, it's going to get people violent.
It gets bored.
Yes, man. I do support you, my brother. I continue listening.
It gets robotic, and music is not a robotic thing. You check?
I do not have a problem if you have to use the technology. I saw Photo perform once, and they came with their system where they have that electronic section of it accompanying the real musicians. So it is in the background, and you can hear they are using that. But it's the way it happens in Dominica is like when you listen to the bouillon music, it's not a music that is acoustically presented to the listening audience. It's just computer who does that, and no wonder the lyrics has to be what it is today. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller.
I think the best way to learn music is from the music sheet, right? What they use now, they use an iPad. But the same music, you know, that in the music sheet, they put it on the iPad. That's the same music, ba, 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 and they write the chords over it. So if you have the music sheet and you write G7, G6, the computer is showing you that. Man, talk. How are you going to determine what kind
to the
of
mic? Get to the mic, Josie.
How are you going to determine what kind of flavor of chords you use? Because the 7th and the 13th is the flavor, you know. Because a 6 becomes a 13th, a 4th becomes a 11th. It's just a matter of how you voice it. Because as I was saying, coming back to they say that they have in music you got the melody. You got the tempo and you got the rhythm, the 3 elements. But you still got the tone quality, which a lot of men don't even know about. The tone quality is what you hear in, you know. Because a man might have I know partners with 3-4 organs, 3-4 keyboards. And all the bad tones that messing up your ears that's what they're playing, you know. When I was growing up, they just used to have piano and organ, you know. Harmon organ, if Leslie, you know. If you listen to the songs of that even early 80s, mid 80s, a lot of guys used to be in the organ and Leslie, you know. If you listen to Otis Redding, that is where the music is. You hear the organ swell and different thing, you know. But a lot of guys have a kind of synthesizers, and all you hear is tones that will deafen you. A lot of musicians deaf to it because of the kind of thing, the noise, you know.
Let's go back to the telephone. Good evening.
Yes, I have to say something to my brother. I have one question for you, my brother.
I know you're not.
Big boy. But before I ask a question, I just need to add a little flavor to what you have been discussing. That I've been listening attentively to you.
I know hearing him now.
Hello?
Yeah. Speak a little louder.
Speak up.
Okay. Yes, I said I just have one question for my boy, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah.
But before I ask a question, I just want to add a little flavor to his discussion, because I'm listening very attentively.
Yeah.
Based on what I've heard, my brother, I assume you've been presenting an encyclopedia of the musical vibes and struggles of our musicians in the past, at home and away, you know, and I think you have brought me way back to the years, like through the names of the bands and the names of personalities or musicians. Like we had that guy Alex Laron, yes, this is from Park Street, and also you mentioned the drummer of Swinging Stars, Curtis Henry the Ravalier.
Yeah.
Yes, you must make mention of those guys. But so I need to ask you about my brother Davidson, your partner.
Davidson, who's that?
He said you were the Davidson Thomas, Devo, Bombix partner.
Oh, Devo.
Yeah, I haven't heard you talk about my brother, but he said he's pronounced musician.
Let me tell you.
Two, did you mention Jigaboots?
Jigaboots. Let me tell you about those guys.
No, but let me just finish.
Listen to me good. In Liquid Ice, right? When we had the band, the first drummer we had in the band, when I joined the band, was James Mears as the drummer. And the band was doing super. We were playing all over the place. Then James Mears decided that he don't want to do that because he's not making any money. He want to go and work on his profession, which is electrician. So he left and he went hustle, and he's an electrician, he's not a musician. Because electrician is not a musician, you know. Now, they were looking for a drummer. But, you know, the drummer, he was a they had a kind of confidence in me. If I tell them do that, they'll do that because I happen to bring the same keyboard player, Michael Joseph, in the band, right? Now, I tell them try Calvin Richards, Cobo. They brought Cobo in the band. But apparently none of the drummers, they don't agree with Tony Valmore because Tony Valmore had a different kind of way in him. He was a disciplinarian and it's about is what he want. Okay? And a lot of guys never used to agree with him. Cobo and them fellas, because previous me and Cobo was in the band with Softies, so I introduced him. Now they bring another drummer in the band. I brought Sty in the band, Alex Sty. Same thing, Sty. We play a couple shows like OCBSA. Is the sit song of the band, make everybody want to sing along. Get up and touch somebody close to you. Make them feel the way you can feel it too. Style go back. We go way back in the Jam Festival. But he and Tony Valmore, they don't like that vibe.
But hold on, the caller. Hold on, sorry. The caller is still on the line. So I want him to ask his question because he's overseas. Go ahead, caller. Ask your question.
Yeah, so
I come into Jiggers.
Yes. You also mentioned Naked Fit. That was a vibrant band in Roseau.
Yeah.
But you forget to mention of Kelly the Ghost. Why are you leaving out Kelly?
Kelly was a rhythm guitarist, man.
Well, you didn't make mention of Kelly.
But Kelly was a rhythm guitarist because when I went
to... He did mention Kelly's name.
No, I didn't mention his name.
No, you didn't mention Kelly's name when you talk about Naked Feet. You said that he
No, I didn't mention. But
I'll remind you, when you spoke about the other guy who was playing guitar together, the Fire Team, and Randy Fire Team.
Yeah.
You said that Kelly played the guitar.
Of course, played guitar.
You said that.
Kelly was my rhythm guitarist.
Yeah, you said that.
And Kelly, one thing about him, he hold a good rhythm, He used to hold a good rhythm. Because Kelly was the body of the band, you know. Because Roy on the organ, Kelly on the rhythm, and Kelly hold a good rhythm. But I know, still, I flavor in between. Because the flavor in aspect come from different playing and the different way, the different concept to the music. Because how I learn music is from Handel, Lande, the reading and the music, I learn it from Handel Christian on the piano, you know. Right? And I follow it up on my own. Up to today, I have a lot of fake books. So if I want to play a song, Satin Doll, I can't go and play wrong chords in front of people that know music. I can't go and play them wrong chords on a computer. The computer, tack. You have to play that live just as how you can transpose the song in a different key, but with the same chords. Because these are the set chords of the original artists. With Duke Ellington make that song, ba-ba-da-ba-bap, ba-da-bap. They have the chords on top of it written. You can buy that. You can buy that in a music store, a music shop. They have the chords. If you play in a song, okay, like some of them Calypsonians. Like
hold your foot again, because the call is still on the line.
Because I know music make you high.
Yeah. Just call, go ahead.
You have not answered my question regarding my...
He'll come to it.
Jiggers, you want me to come to Jiggers?
Number two, hold on. Let me
just finish off.
See what I have to say, and then you'll take. Yeah. The guy from Vinci, was he a trombonist or trumpeter?
The guy, what was that?
They used to call him Bone.
Bone a trombonist, man. He lives in Antigua.
No, he was a Vinci, a guy from St.
Oh, they're talking about Vinci, the Scott, a trumpeter. He lives in Antigua.
A trumpeter.
Yeah.
All right, okay. And my question to you is, would you be interested, based on your experience and your expertise, in tutoring or mentoring young musicians from the upcoming generation?
Well, yeah, I did that. As a matter of fact, I had the opportunity of teaching.
Hold on. Let him finish his question.
He's too high on music. I realize you have a lot to answer. Yes. So finally, I refer to you as Bombix and Boy. But I think you have a sweeter taste for Boy. So let it be known to the general public that tonight is the last time I'll be calling you Bombix. So going forward,
but I cannot.
All right? One love, my brother.
Listen to me. The Bombix thing, I can't stop that. Because before
you go, caller, before you go, sorry, I just want to tell the listeners that the West Indies played their T20, the first T20 match against Bangladesh. West Indies has 3 runs for 2 wickets. King has out for 1. Puran has out for 1. All right. So
What they're chasing.
So they're chasing 148 runs in 20 overs. Yes, go ahead now, Bombix.
Yeah, the Bombix thing I cannot tell. But what I know that if I just go to St. Martin, nobody don't know me as Bombix. They know me as Julian. If I go to St. Lucia, they know me as Julian Josephs. You know, it's only in Dominica they know me as that Bob Mix. So I don't really, they can call me that if they want, because it's like a name, a partner, they call a partner, well, Suey Rats. The man name is Brian Shillingford, but they still calling him Suey Rats. Roy Shillingford name is Roy, but they calling him Lakou. You check. So fathers have nicknames, you know, fathers have nicknames that you know, all kind of nicknames. That's Dominica. So if they want to call me Bombix, cool. I don't think in that, because it's original to her. It's an original name. You know what I mean? But what I saying, when I was in Naked Faith, when I just joined Naked Faith, Scott wasn't in the band, you know. It's after they sent for Scott.
Hold on quickly. Another call is on the line. Good evening.
Hi, Cecil. Good night.
Good evening.
Good night to Brain. And
Good
Mr.
evening,
Joseph.
my girl.
I have been listening to you guys, and it's very interesting, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said you are like an encyclopedia. I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking, does this brother teach music to our young people?
Well, I was getting into that, you know.
Okay.
I've had the opportunity to teach music in a school in St. Lucia. When I was in St. Lucia, I lived in St. Lucia for maybe a year and a half. And then when I was in St. Lucia, I got a gig and the woman specifically said that she wants me to run the band, lead the band, because the St. Lucians and them were saying, boy, he from Dominica, and how come? The woman say, but because most of the time the St. Lucians and them not playing in a part, they're not serious. So then I had the band working in St. Lucia, and I hired a couple of them guys, and they used to like to play with me. And whilst I was there, I was teaching in the school in St. Lucia. Music.
Wow,
I was teaching guitar and I was teaching keyboards. And I was doing that also in St. Martin when I was there. In Madame Estate, I was teaching guitar and I was teaching bass. And I was also doing that in Dominica. There was a guy, Mr. Luke, he passed the other day. He was working in the Ministry of Education, and he had me set up. I used to teach the students guitar and bass. Where the post office is there, that area, the post office upstairs there on the next side, there was an office there. That's exactly where I used to do that.
Wow.
You check?
Yes, and that's great. Earlier on, I heard you mention jazz, that, you know, other music came from jazz. So is music like reggae and cadence, do they have their origin in jazz?
They have different in music now. They have different I would say it genes, right? Latin music. Okay. Latin music.
Oh, I see.
Latin music, all calypso, reggae, zouk, is under Latin. It comes under the Latin vibes. The Latin music that comes under, and you see a lot of jazz musicians incorporate Latin, like Herbie Hancock. Watermelon Man, that's a song from Mongo Santa Maria, the Latin feel. So it incorporates, if you listen to Chick Corea, Latin feel, Santana, most of the artists, pianists, jazz.
So what? Yeah.
So the reggae is a Latin
African
feel.
music?
Huh?
Oh, it's a Latin.
Yeah, the reggae is a Latin feel. Yeah.
So none of our music has any origin from Africa?
Well, not really. Not really. African music is a complete different vibes.
Oh, I see.
It's a complete different gene, right? It's a complete different gene. But then it's also good to learn it too. You can play Mongo Santa Maria. Pa 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 tu pu pu du du. Makusa makusa.
Yeah, I remember that song.
That's an African thing. A lot of bands like Kool and the Gang, they have an African. When they just started, jungle, that's a kind of African kind of thing, you know. And you see, jazz music is the only culture America have. America doesn't have any culture, you know. That is the only culture that, if they talk about America, what is the America's culture is jazz.
Yes.
America don't have nothing. It's black music.
And rhythm and blues.
Yeah, that is part
rhythm
of it.
Blues.
Rhythm and blues
Okay.
is well into jazz, you know. Now the jazz now, most of the jazz artists incorporate the Latin feel. So you have Latin jazz, you have bossa nova, Brazilian beat, Then you have pop.
Yeah.
Then you have pop, like the Beatles, like, a different. Have I told you lately that I love you? That's pop,
What about the ska?
The ska, that's a reggae. That's a Latin gene.
Oh, I see.
Latin. Anything, anything West Indianish, it gets a Latin
just
feel.
From Latin.
Under the heading, right? Under the heading. So.
Yes.
Because sometimes.
Yes, and
what you're saying?
Go ahead.
Sometimes if you get a program keyboard, some of them small Casio keyboards, they have beats and they tell you Latin, rock, jazz, you see it written. But when you go to Latin now, you find reggae in that same category. There's a reggae beat now, those little Casios now, to play along,
Well, I mean, I grew up listening to reggae like Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff, Eric Donaldson, and our Carter's music. Yeah. But like you said, music of the 60s, 70s, 80s, early 80s are so different. I mean, I can listen to the reggae all day, but the young people that we have in Dominica now, like brother from Grand Bay, I don't know what kind of music that is, But I'm listening, and it's very interesting. It's a very great program. So maybe you might have to do a second part.
Thank you. Well, now you're talking about the present dispensation in reference to music and the music of today compared to what of yesterday. Help us to have a greater understanding of what you were saying. I was saying to you, you hear me?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was saying that you were talking to us earlier on in reference to the music of yesteryear and its value, its flavor over that of today. Help us to have an understanding.
You want to go into that?
Yes.
The music of yesteryear. For instance, you want to learn, don't take me over, but rather fall loving without you. Don't take me over. You won't hear that right in modern times. That song, you won't hear that song. Or you won't hear a song, Mr. Houston. I'll send in all my love. I'll send in all my love for you. The musicians, that's too hard. They'll find it too hard for them to play those songs there. But these are the songs you have to learn to play. When you can play those songs, you can play most of the other songs. Now, you have to be able to play. If you play in keyboard, as a keyboard player, you have to learn to play the songs in different keys. It's because the different keys now, it teaching you all the different notes to play in the different chords, the different parts of the keyboard. If you're playing in C, you'll play the white notes, right? But if you're playing in A flat, you play 4 flats. If you're playing in C sharp, you play 5 sharps. So you have to learn to play, and sometimes the range. So you know what some of them musicians do, them program musicians. There's a option on the keyboard, right? You can just press a note or thing, and they playing in the same white key. You can just press a button and it transposes the key higher to A flat, but it's the same white keys. You're not playing in no flat. The option is just you transpose the keys. Right, so if you're playing in A and the song is in C sharp, you just press a thing, and you're still playing in A, but the same position you're playing in A, but the C sharp, But if you're playing natural, you have to be able to play in all keys. All keys, you have to be able to play in. With a guitar, different. Let me
ask you. I see that you have a keyboard I see that you have a keyboard.
Yeah.
When you play, what kind of keyboard it is? Is it the keyboard of yesteryear or is it the keyboard of the present?
Well, the keyboard I have is a programmable keyboard because I play alone and I just use it. I use it for the beats. Like for instance, it have a lot of different beats. Like it have calypso, it have reggae. It has Latin, it have bossa nova, it have pop, it have zouk, it have various things, So then if I play in a song like a grammar song, like a local ba da ba da be ba da be ba da, and the songs, the beats it has as real, it songs real. But I also have a rhythm machine to it. I also have a rhythm machine, but I can MIDI the rhythm machine on the keyboard, right? But I don't want to go for all that. That's too much work. I already have the zouk already, so I use the zouk and I play in pada pada. I play these kadas, how it is, you know. It's a kadas feel. Or if I come a song from Below Man, Mete I did an Africa. It's a kadas feel, you know. But if I play in a song from the Beatles and I love her, you know, pa da da da. It's a kind of bolero. It's a pop, you know, but the beat for is a bolero beat they use, even the Beatles too, because the Beatles were very creative people, you know. They playing songs, but all of them different beats. Not only Beatles alone, a lot of artists out there that was there yesterday. You know what I mean? I like to listen to songs, George Benson, even way back. I listen to a lot of songs from way back. I used to like movie songs, to songs from the movies. You know, so all that contributing to the whole picturesque of the musical vibes.
Right now, as we speak, what do you do with young people and music?
Huh?
Right as we speak now, what do you do with young people and music?
Young people and music.
Yes, what do you do now?
That the young people and music, I find I cannot relate to them now.
Why so?
Because the music now, the music, if you do learn music, you have to check what pass already to build up on what pass and make it better. All the artists that was before, that is the thing, because it reached a stage in music where it reached a climax where it not working. They have to go back, because if you listen to a lot of, okay, let's just take the reggae gene, a lot of them artists, they play in the same parts, you know, of the old time reggae. They play in a bass line, the same bass line of Bob Marley. Tum pudum pidim pidim pitum pum pim pum pum pum, and they're singing on that. So most one of the modern artists that's singing reggae music, singing the style, the bass line from the older artists that was already done, established already. You check. I heard a song that they were playing, the bass line was playing the song from the Staple Singers. Tum 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 ping ping. Ping, pung, 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 ping. They have the same bass line, but a complete set of different lyrics singing on it. That's piracy to me. You know, get your own bass line, arrange that. Don't use nothing in that are done already to make your song. You go to a computer and you tack. To me, I find that's a waste of time. To me, because I tried that already. I have a computer and I have them things and I was trying it already, and I find I rather read the books, man. Sometimes I like reading than watching movies and them thing, you know. Read, because the reading giving you the real source. So when you have the fake book now with the songs and the chords, you're learning it correctly, and you're learning the chords, how you approach it, you know.
But when you say learning the chords, did you go to school to play music by the chords?
By Handel. Handel showed me everything from the scratch, the fundamental, and from the fundamental I learned. I could follow up on my own to a certain degree, and then I used to have books that different things, you know. I do away with them, but as I getting older, way back, man, when we're playing in band and we're playing in songs like look a band coming down, the melody and all those songs, right? It's a sweet melody, so you have to make it entrancing, you know.
Right. Let me ask you a question. With the modern Calypsonians, I know the Calypso season is about to open once again. Do you accompany or do you write?
I don't like that. I can't deal with the modern thing. Too much noise. I can't deal with that.
No. I don't think you listen to the question. He asked you, do you write?
Do you write music for the Calypsonians?
No.
Okay.
Do you do chords, which makes it easier?
Yeah.
No, I can write chords. Yeah. Because that's what we used to do before they came to the Calypsonians.
Right.
Before.
So do you do scores for the Calypsonians?
For the Calypsonians.
Yeah, but you see, really could be one and Calypsonian have too much noise in. I can't listen to that because
no, it's not about listening, right? Or it's about if you are doing
writing.
Chords, if you are doing this chord, hold on.
I don't find.
Listen. Please listen first, and then you talk.
Yeah.
All right. I'm asking you because you're saying the modern music have too much noise in it.
Yeah,
but if you are doing the scores
for a musician,
for the music, for the
Calypsonian
singer, for the presenter of the song, you can eliminate those
Noise, those nuances.
All right. So I'm asking you, why don't you do scores for the Calypsonians?
I rather
Or
play live,
musician.
man. I don't want to do any scores. I don't want to be in that calypso because why I say that is because by experience I've had living in Trinidad, when you're accompanying those guys like Baron and all those fellas, they come with their music sheets, right? And you're playing what is there, right? And when it comes to that part, they playing that, and you don't have no ching-a-ling-a-ling, no synthesizers, noisy synthesizers in between, doing and they say, "Bada." You saying everything coming out clean. If they say,
but Julian, it is not fair. It is not fair to the artists for your statement. I can say the West Indies they are 37 for 4 after 6.3 overs. Fletcher just got out for 0. So yes, I would say it's not fair to the musicians for you to criticize.
I'm not criticizing,
Hold on, listen.
Hold on. For you to critique their work, and you have an ability, you have a talent. You are talking about chords that's supposed to be made.
Yeah.
All right. You can do scores that will help those chords that you're talking about to remove all of that noise that you're speaking of. Why don't you play?
I'm not into that gene of that calypso. I'm not into the gene.
But you play calypso music.
No, I'm not into that.
Let me ask you. Let me put it another way to him. Right, you have a good musician who have done a lot of calypso writing, and he worked with you. You know, one or two of the bands that you played. Let's say an Ian Jackson.
Yeah.
He normally write very good songs, and he comes to you and he say, "Partner, that's the song I have. This is it. Can you put those things into music for me? Your way."
Yeah.
Maybe the jazzy beat or the calypso, because calypso has different variations. Would you be willing to help him?
Obviously, I'll be willing to help him, because that's what I was doing all the time with Dice and all them fellas. Because Chicky, when he come if go well, by me he used to come to get the chords on the guitar, And when he get the chords, I go with him. How I join Swinging Stars is like that, Dice say, Julian can have the chords. Follow what he playing. Good. And I bring this song in the band.
And the reason why I tell you that and drive you there is because, for instance, the donkey thing, you work with him. If Mona look a band coming down, you work with them. Bio Bois, you work with the early calypso bands, and you have had the experience with working with Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow, yeah.
You've had the experience of working with Sparrow.
Sparrow, a lot of them.
And those
Chalk
guys,
Dust.
Chalk Dust. So
you're
you're now a professional musician.
Yeah.
So basically, based on all the experience that you have in the musical world, that now I feel that you can assist in correcting some of the nuances that in the music. So you people can hear chords that are very, because you mentioned the fact of melody. And that's a big thing in the Calypso 4 points. Am I right?
Correct. Very correct.
Right. The melody is very important in Calypso. The way the sound is and the public hearing it, because a lot of the musicians, when they play, you can't hear the lyrics. So the genre of music that you're producing, people will be more able to follow the Calypsonian, and they will be able to get more points.
Times I don't want to get into that Calypso, that vibes, man. That vibes, the Calypso here going on now, because it's going to be a contradiction. Because a man will just come in, and when you say like a robot, and you see that thing there, after a while that'll get me crazy, because the thing is that another thing, I come from that era, and I just want to be playing songs that people will appreciate. I don't want to go into that calypso business, because the calypso I grew up listening to is like the Baron, hear that good, Chalk Dust, real thing, real horns blowing in the harmony, no man and synthesizers. Sometimes I hear a man playing a song, he do a record, he's home for, they say they have to play it for the calypso. They don't even give it to Swinging Stars to play it, and they playing it, and you're in one set of synthesizers, go in between. You see that will create me crazy. That's why a lot of musicians that get crazy, and a lot of musicians deaf too, right? Now, if you have the man and them with the horns and they have their parts and everybody going in harmony, ba da 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 da, like as I tell you, the experience I had with the big band in Canada, that's how everybody have their part, you know. You write that for the trombone, you write that for the trumpet, and everybody at ease, and they playing.
Well, I just want to say to you,
see that
hold on, Julian. I just want to say to you, before I say what I'm going to say, West Indies for the trouble, 38 for 5. Chase just out for 7. So Muti and Powell is now in the wicket. West Indies is chasing 148 runs. They are still 110 runs behind. Yeah.
Well, I know, for instance, Moti came out from a good the ODI. So I still have confidence that we'll score the runs.
But I want to say to you, Julian, that you are a full-fledged musician, and we are in the world of electronics, but also that we have to always take on board the concept of the good old days. Now, you as a full-fledged musician who understands chords,
right?
All right, who understands the value of chords in music, not playing by ear. That's when we get our music corrupted, because we're just playing by ear. So someone figured that's a G coming in next. Let's play a G minor, or let's play a sharp chord, because that's what they're hearing. Now, you cannot tell me that you have that ability. You play for Short Shirt, you play for Sparrow, you play for Kitchener, you play for everybody.
And he played also for the top. He played for Sai.
You play for this guy Chicky.
No, what I'm
No, hold on. I don't think it is fair of you.
Yeah, you should give yourself
with
a
an
challenge.
ability not to help in the art form of calypso. If you say that is what you're hearing is not what's supposed to be done.
No, because
so
the calypso now is a complete different thing, man. The tone of the calypso right now is a complete different thing. You know, sometimes, you know, I used to do a piano by, you know, all they want to hear is acoustic piano. People eat and drink, and you can play songs. People want that. It's a different, no electronics, just acoustic piano. You could play a song, okay, you play a Christmas song, okay, I just joined our friends. Oh, Holy Night, and the way you play it, or smoke gets in your eyes. People want to hear that. You know, like piano bar. It's a completely different thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have acoustic guitar and an amp, and people just want to hear that.
So do you agree to minor chords?
To minor chords?
Yeah.
Minor chords like how?
If you're playing
right, you know the calypso.
Song, you're playing a calypso.
Yeah.
And a musician or a presenter of a song is in a high chord, basically.
Right, he goes in a high chord.
All right. Would you agree, while that song has been played, to go into a minor chord?
Yeah, but
if you ask the question,
let me hear what you say.
Calypso.
Yes.
Yeah, but actually, I reach a stage where I don't want to play calypso. You know, I don't want to play no calypso music. Man.
Okay, let me
say that. Yes, go ahead.
Let me give you a song.
Yeah. I don't want to play no calypso.
David Rudder.
Well, yeah.
David Rudder, because you have different formats. So the calypso has actually evolved.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of classical calypso.
Yeah.
The judges want to hear a whole variation of calypso. But one of the things that a guy must do is to remain in his chord.
Yeah.
The other thing I know, for instance, is his melody.
Yeah.
The other thing I know is his lyrics. Yeah. Is his lyrics in tune with his melody? Okay, he can have the lyrics and his melody is not working with the lyrics he have. Yeah. And these are the fundamental foundation of good calypso. So calypso has not really changed in terms of what the judges are listening to and what because if the guy coming there with distorted songs and the judge is not hearing the lyrics, the thing is off, the man is off key. Come on, how can you give him points for that?
No, what I'm saying, you see the calypso thing?
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend in Canada and we get vexed for that, you know, we don't agreeing for that. Though, you see the pan thing? A lot of pan playing and thing. I can't take that anymore. That to me, that will deaf me. I cannot take that. If you have a pan man playing in a band, like Andy Narell, and a bassman accompanying him, and a piano and a drummer, and a pan man playing, dung, dung, I love that. But to say tenor pan, first pan, that pan, and you see that, I can't listen to that.
Right. No. I would agree with you.
That was joint a reference.
I agree. So that's your choice. That's your choice.
That's my choice, right?
That's your choice.
I can't take
but
that.
when you hear, when you listen to a first panel, plays in chords, and you listen to the tune, a first panel and double tenor, my brother, that is sweet music.
But let me give him an example.
It's not noise.
Hang on. Joseph, before you go, I like to give examples. For instance, I was listening to Kitchener, tribute to the Pan Man, where the fella is playing the first pan. And I find that it's very classical in the way Kitchener introduced the pan. I find the guy is very classical in the way he manages the first pan with the calypso. This is a great calypso.
Great calypso.
Yeah. So I am saying that with the music, the genre of the music evolving, you as a professional musician who have traveled all over, you know music, your business now is to help to generate. It's not that you are the musician bringing the music.
What are you going to help to generate?
Well, you never know. There might be a calypso who wants to work with you. And you may introduce him to all the different genres that you've learned in terms of creating the jazz aspect of calypso.
When you mention David Roder, he was about to answer yes.
No, listen to me. David Roder have some songs which I have in my repertoire.
Rally Round the West, a great song.
That's one. But he has another one, The Hammer. And they were
that's a great song.
I like them songs, you know.
Oh, the one from Haiti.
But listen,
that's a good song.
Listen to that. You have good vocalists here. If they get good work, like for instance,
good music.
This guy Webb dies to a great extent.
Yeah, Webb.
This guy also Daryl Bob.
Yeah, Daryl Bob is
good. Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I find
you can be frank.
No, when I talk straight, people don't like it.
Talk straight.
I find calypso in Dominica, they ain't ready yet. Too much noise, man. I can't listen to that. I don't even take that on. I can't take that on. That's the thing. It's the way from Dominica. That's good. That I want to get into that calypso thing.
Is it because
no? You
is
see,
it because the band?
I don't want to get into that calypso.
Is it because the band is too loud, or is it
what
because
is wrong?
the chords are not
too high?
I just find in the electronics, the keyboard part, the keyboard was playing all sort of electronic things in between the music.
Good.
Yeah, in between.
So where do you play? Where can you play a part?
In correct.
No, what I'm talking about, you have. Calypso is a thing. If you look into classic calypso, they have horns, real horn players, right? And their horn players have great. They arrange the horn players in good parts, so you can hear the horn players play the chorus of the song and the introduction. No suffice that. This is first I even might play a little part in between, but the horns and the saxophone and the trombone is leading the band. Period.
No, but we know that in calypso.
But Dominica don't have that.
No. I wouldn't agree with you.
You've been the calypso judge.
I wouldn't totally agree with you.
And you do calypso.
That is why I don't want to get into it.
No,
that's
I'm
why
saying to you, I won't totally agree. I don't want to spend my time on calypso.
Yeah, calypso.
But I'm just saying to you, I will not totally agree with you.
Well, I don't want to get into that. That's why I tell you. You tell me talk myself.
Let's do that.
Because when I used to be in Swinging Stars, right? The man had their horn side, you know. Bing Kazimi, Norman later.
They still do.
That's what I was going to talk to you about.
It's not as how they used to be before. It completely changed. because learning to play trumpet and them things, that's a complete instrument, you know. You have to learn to play that good.
Someone is calling us. Yes, the person is
Let's see. Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, I'm continue. Yes, it's two different.
I don't hear you, you know.
We're not hearing you. Your songs.
If you listen to that calypso rhythm and our rhythm song, it's two different.
What do you say?
You don't get that touch. You don't get that calypso touch. When it comes to that rhythm, like Trinidad.
Yeah.
Our rhythm song is different.
That's what I'm telling him.
I'm listening to calypso since the time of in the 50s, you know.
Right.
I can tell you the difference.
So you see, the different partner.
Yeah, it have a difference.
Yeah, the modern calypso they have in Dominica completely different.
Yeah, it's completely different.
That is what I'm trying to tell them, and they don't realize it that.
No. You're right.
Oh God, man.
But Muku, you can say what you want. Trinidad calypso. Hold on. Trinidad calypso is different from St. Vincent calypso. St. Vincent calypso is different from St. Lucia calypso.
No. The Vincian them, the Vincian them, the calypso does be more on the Trinidad side. Because if you listen to as far back as Howlands, we want peace and order in the tongue. I hear them hooligans running wild. That was a different time.
That's a long time.
No, but what I'm saying, then the horns and them, it's what I feel. Okay, even when I was swinging songs, I singing Sankey song. No, the chorus and the guitars, dong, dong, budo bong bong, bong. You have the guitars playing that, bass and lead guitar. Me and Harry playing that, picking together, bong, bong, budo gong gang, gong, gong, budo gong gong, and the horns and say,
I would like to hear.
That was great. I agree with you.
I'm telling you, I would like to hear what the present musicians have to say.
But that was nice.
Your comment.
Because you see,
they can say what they want to.
No, but you see, you made a very important point
and
here.
that is hold on, and that is why I'm saying to him. He can tell me what he wants.
I can say.
He can say what he wants. I am saying that if you figure out that there is an error
in the music,
or if you figure out that there needs improvement,
can correct it.
But I
you
don't
can help to correct it. You don't. Okay. That's
me, Julian. I don't get into that.
All right,
Julian.
All right, thanks. Anyway, Julian, any question for Julian?
Yeah, Julian.
Yeah.
One of the things that I want to challenge you about is that like everything in life, there's evolution, meaning things will change. Of course, there has to be the what I call the foundation of the music. But you see, people are experimenting with different forms of music. And basically, as you said yourself, that music is supposed to create wealth for you. You can be playing the best music and nobody buying it.
They're not buying, you know.
Wait, let me make my point, because at the end of the day, you're investing time into the music. So basically, if you go out there and you're not making money in the music, it's best you go and work in a particular field, because music is about making money. And making money is critical.
I thought it was for the love of music from some.
Right, there could be love, but you have your family to feed.
Can I ask you something before I go further? Why you ever hear them change batch music, or you ever hear them change beat hope music? So it is, do it like that or don't do it at all. Why you want to go and change? You never hear them change Bob Marley music. It's still going to be Rasta man vibe. That's how we sing it originally than Bob Marley. You'll hear some jazz pianists play like that and play jazz vibes out of that. Right? You never hear them play the Mighty Diamonds. I got a roof over my head. But you hear the bass line another song. Dung, pudu, pudung, ping, 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 boom. You hear the bass line of that song on another song. But they won't hear them change that music. Why is that? All the music they play now on computer and YouTube is music. Most of them reggae, Caribbean music, which is more making more money right now. Is reggae music, you know, and you always hear in their music based on the modern music. They're making nothing. That is only not noise, I telling you, you hearing it all the time. The music that making the money, they have been making money a long time, and they still making it. Of the music, it's Bob Marley music that's still making money. You know, his children and all of them making money from that, right? Eric Donaldson, oh cherry, baby, I think I'm in love with you. So why you want to go in after the song then? I go. I not. You see that? I just run away from that because I learning nothing from that. Whether it be evolution or not, is the reality of the fact, you know. Yeah. Why change that to go backward and go into that just to feel you want to make money and then you're not making no money? So because Isa Banton come and he been doing and he making a lot of money, I go follow him and say I gonna make a lot of money. It's not about that.
So are you making a lot of money in what you're doing?
No, I'm living. I'm satisfied because my how I see it is if you have health, you have nothing. My health is my wealth. That is what my health is my wealth. You know, your health is your wealth. So whether you in making money, and you don't have good health, it don't make you listen how the world going today. I want to do what I love, right? I cannot please everybody. According to Bob Marley, you can please some people sometimes, but you can't please all the people all the time. Okay? So why does I please? I have a pick I can please, and they like that. Why don't do that now? Why want to move it and go into a and make a set of noise and deaf?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell people. I'm going to tell the listeners. I'm going to tell the listeners. I'm Julian.
That, why going to that?
Hold on. I'm going to tell the listeners that you normally play underneath the post office. Old post office, when there's a cruise ship. I'm going to tell the listeners to go and listen to you to find out exactly what you do.
Well, long I doing that way.
I know.
Even before the post office thing by Garaway Hotel, I used to be doing that all the time.
No,
long I doing that. Anytime I hear.
I'm not saying I'm going to ask them because some person might think you're critical.
Right.
And some person might believe that you're critical.
But even one idea.
But let me take you on.
Even one idea getting critical. Hear that. Since I come back, when I used to be there before, the people, they're not. I remember I playing for the tourists, you know. Is what the tourists want, is not what them Dominican want. So they want dice. I want dice. So I had to play dice for the vendors. Is they pleasing? I pleasing the tourists. Some of the tourists come, a partner come the other day and he say, he want Guantanamera, a Latin song, and he come, a musician from the boat, you know, and he come and singing it. One man telling me, oh, I just played, if I in Venezuela, a Dominican. If I in Venezuela, I just want to play Latin. You see them kind of thing there? You have to please the tourists.
I understand that.
So why the vendors?
No, like also, but you have to also please your people. And I'm saying
but
that.
For the tourists,
if you come from
dice,
the,
then I don't play dice.
No, hold on. If you come from the yard, all right.
I'll play Zouk. I'll play Caras. I'll play Dominica Caras. My neighbor will play Gramax. I'll play Bilumen. But to say I go and play the song it's so complicated. I like dice, but it's so complicated that I can even attack it because so much elements of that ching in between that music. It's not smooth, right? It's not a criticize. Who don't like it, lump it. It's not a criticize. That's just me. If I have 10 audiences, I good with that.
All right. I just want to further say that Western is in further trouble.
Okay.
Western is 58 for 6 after 10.3 overs. Okay. Muti, who you think he was rooting for, has just out.
Who coming in now?
Hussein.
Oh, we still have a chance.
Still have a chance. So Hussein best score is 44.
We still have a chance.
Chance? Well, you're
140 we chasing.
You're well resting then, boy. You
are still chasing.
You'll see 91 more runs, my brother.
But we have 10 overs. That's 9 runs and over.
90 more runs.
Maybe if Brian around them guys.
9 runs and over.
You see, you come back the older West Indies team now. You see, if the older West Indies team, they would have cut that.
But anyway, I want to tell you.
A mental temperament.
I want to tell you, Josephs, that every musician I've met have their own style.
Yeah, definitely.
A style of music. I know Avril, his style, and you learn a lot from him, was that of the lead guitar, where he liked to pick. Yeah. In fact, he was one of the best guitarists we had in Dominic. I don't think I've seen another guitarist like him. Yeah. One of the best organ players we have seen is, of course, our good friend Fitzroy Williams. Yeah. You know, one of the best horn players we've seen, I know, is Bing. So for me, saxophone, I could say, our good friend Litan So basically, when you have professional musicians playing music, then they give you the professional music that you would like. But nowadays, with the advent of the computer, a lot of the music I hear, even in the calypso, generated by the computer. I hear it myself. Because even some of the fellas go and sing the copy back up. So it's a struggle in music.
But I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
How is that in Trinidad? Let's I go to Trinidad, or in St. Vincent, or sometimes in St. Lucia. They don't have them computers getting their calypso. They have it just like how it used to be. How is that? Keep it that way. That is calypso. Keep it that way, man. Horns, the parts are written out. Chords for guitar, horn parts. You read in the horn parts. The man write in the horn. Keep it like that. Why you want to bring in synthesizers, clotting it up for? So when come to play it now, when come to give it now, when come to take it and give it to the real band to play, you have a jumbling up. Right. Because it's not sung in the same way they play it on the radio.
You and I will not agree on that.
I don't want to go into
my argument to you is that do the scores.
Well, my argument there, I love when I go to hear calypso, and you made a very good point. One of the best calypsonians I've heard in terms of real music is Spider.
Spider, great man.
When I hear Spider music in calypso.
You hear Spider music? I was in Swinging Stars.
Spider music.
Spider music
is an inspiration to calypso. Really good.
Canada,
that's my view, and people may not agree with me.
Tong ping pong, pong ping pong, me lover Nelson. I gotta tell you, baba de. I tell you, whoa, we had a road. That was a big hit. The man 91 years and they still playing that song, you know. Just tong ping pong, pong ping pong. When we went Canada with that Spider song, we mashed up the place. Because when you hear the guitar chorus, it's the bass and the guitar. Bong, bong, do bong bong, 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 do dong bong, 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 bong. And you hear the horns answering, clean. No in between. And if the keyboard have a part to play, he played the synthesizer. That is part. That you have to play. Nothing else, partner. And strum. And sometimes the different styles of strumming make the song different. It has because you have keyboard players that strumming off. It have matter to
brother, I think from just this discussion here this evening,
yes.
I think if the Calypso president is hearing you, he should call you in to have a schooling with you. And I believe that if writers are hearing you, people who are composing music, calypso, they should call you in to put such scores together for them.
But Mr. Joseph, I'll tell you, say right, calypso is not one of my genes, you know. Okay. I like calypso. I like songs like ba 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 da 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 St. Thomas. That American jazz artists using calypso. Those that artists use calypso, you know. They like calypso. Ba 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 da ba 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 da da. They have all kind of versions of that. Ba da da ba 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 ba. They have different kind of. So, for instance, a man with a calypso. Listen, Mama, I want you to beg Santa Claus to bring a trumpet and a Constantine. That is a big hit. That calypso have a meaning. You
so hold on. 11.4 overs. West Indies 67 for 7. You still believe you're going to win? Something just got out.
Well, we'll see. Who's destroying them like that?
Well, I don't even watching who's destroying them. All I know is Bangladesh destroying them. Right. Yes. So as we come to the end, Julian, give us your last words.
What are you saying?
As we come to the end, give us your final words.
My final words is like, I'm wishing all the musicians out there, you know, good feelings, man. Continue doing what you're doing in your own way, you know. But always remember that, you know, in everything there's criticisms and there's non-criticisms, you know, because I get a lot of people criticize me already, but I make that hinder me in anything I do, you know. I just maintain, you know, because there's always going to be some people that like what you're doing and some people that don't like what you're doing. That's life, you know. But at that stage in my life, you see, the music business, I just want it to be a a cool musical thing, man. I can't take the noise. You see the noise business. You know, when you just at the age, you don't want the noise. A lot of musicians that deaf, you know. I just see the musicians playing right under them speakers, and that is dangerous, you know. And the loud music, that critical. A lot of musicians deaf out there, and they don't even know. You check. So, you know, I wish them all the musicians good luck and thing, but I stick into what I love in the music, you know. Just you know, a feel, you know. I don't mind if I have 10 audiences and a man have a million, you know. Once the 10 audiences like what I doing and I satisfy with
Thank
that.
you. Your last words.
Right, very interesting in terms of the musical presentation you brought forward, in terms of your genre of music and what you like. I know you like music that's very comfortable to the ear. Yeah. I still hope I'm challenging you. I mean, think about it in terms of creating that space for these Calypsonians who would most likely want to follow the style that you so helpfully brought across when you worked with fellas like Spider, Kitterer, Zai. There's still room for you in the world of Calypso.
Solo too.
And you work with Solo, which was one of the greatest Calypsonians.
Wow.
All right.
So you work with Solo too.
As we come to the end, I just want to say to Julian, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence and to give us such an interesting dialogue here this evening. And I'm very happy that we had this conversation. And out of this conversation, I believe that people for sure will be.
That's really interesting. I really enjoy it, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, and I really want to say I enjoyed you and I enjoy what you did for us. So once again, thank you very much.
Yeah.
As we continue to move to another day.
Okay.
Thank you, and may God continue to bless you, sir. All right.
And then we'll head to Jamaica, where one doctor is using health data to work with communities to reduce gun violence.
You have to work with communities. You have to be willing to be open and listen and admit you're wrong many times.
All that's coming up on People Fixing the World right after the BBC News.